kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Art, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 White Hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com. First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
To those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun, James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
as he will be every week this year. Scott, doesn't look like this may be a close contest, but you never know. It is high school football.
Yeah, I think one thing that the teams probably had a little easier week in practice, and that both offenses are very similar. So I expect teams to be very familiar with each other. Obviously, they played last year, but I think you'll see sort of those adjustments. I look forward to Forestview trying to come out and show that they're a little bit better than they showed the first week this year, and obviously against East Lincoln last year. Obviously, a team wins the 3A state title, everybody's gunning for you. So I expect Forestview to come out a little bit hotter, ready to play this week.
Well, and they had Burns last week. Didn't Burns win 2A?
Yes.
God, what a start to your schedule. Hey, here we go. There's 4 state champions. You get 2 of them in the first 2 weeks. Good luck. My gosh, that's brutal. So we're here at Forestview, and unlike Lincoln County schools, we are not staring into the sun. This is very unusual.
Well, the heat's enough. The sun doesn't matter at this point.
Oh, no. I mean, it's still in the 90s. The temperature's going to be a problem. It's just hot. And at least there was some cloud cover this afternoon, or else it might have hit 100. So, I mean, hey, it only peaked in the 90s, just like the Dallas Cowboys. So,
well, they're out there practicing in it all summer, so hopefully by now they're at least used to it. They know how to hydrate, be ready to play, and take care of their bodies, getting ready for tonight's matchup.
I saw Weatherman say that line, it's peaking in the 90s, just like the Dallas Cowboys. I was like, I have got to steal that one. That's really good. So we're here, and we're getting ready to go, and the big thing on our stadium pregame show here, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, is turnover, and we don't mean interceptions and fumbles. When you look at East Lincoln, the turnover on their roster is just phenomenal from last year, and they didn't miss a beat last week.
Yeah, to come out of the gates, after winning a 3A state title and thinking maybe there was a little bit of downtime with some of the graduates, I don't know, they almost looked like they were about the same team, coming out and putting 57 points up on Stuart Kramer last week. But one of those things that might have happened last year is you get those big wins, you get players to come in, kind of fill in. They want to show that they're just as good as those graduates, and they're going to come out ready to show that they're ready to defend that title. And like I say, 17 straight games, 17 straight wins. That's obviously a great feat.
Yeah, the last loss for East Lincoln was November of 2021. I can't remember if it was the second or third round of the state playoffs, but they lost to Statesville for a second time. And that is their last loss. 16 in a row last year, opening game this year. And the big thing that really drove East Lincoln last year was their defense. They gave up like 109 points in 16 games, less than 7. It was just ridiculous. And then they opened last week with Stuart Kramer, and they give up 24 total yards. They just shut them down. It's just amazing to have that many people step in, because Ben Cutter's gone, Keandre Walker's gone. There's all kinds of alignment. Diego Niera was gone. He made an interception in the state championship game. Marcel Johnson's back, and he's a stud.
Yeah, if there's, one side of the ball for East Lincoln that might have a little bit of, returners and upperclassmen, would be the defensive side of the ball. They see a lot of juniors and seniors on that side. As you mentioned, 5.5 sacks last week. Marcel Johnson made 6 tackles. Brody Hager had 7 tackles for them. Those are 2 seniors that have returned. But to not miss a beat, to give up those few yards, obviously shows, great defensive scheme. Guys that want to get after it, make a point. Roseboro had an interception. Also, as on Roseboro, he had a special teams punt return as well. So, like I say, you really didn't see much difference between this team this year and last year. Of course, it's one game. Anything can happen. And
it is a long season.
Yeah, obviously you would know. I think you're probably the voice of East Lincoln, since you covered the last 7 or 8 games in a row. They're on their run to the state title.
Well, we did their first 2 games. We did High Brighton and Forestview, and last year that was ugly. last year. Where was it?
53-0.
53-0 or something like that. Running clock early in the third quarter. Kind of sounds like last week against Kramer. And just to come out and do what they do and just keep going without missing a beat is just really a testament to the coaching staff and the program, and really to the middle school and the JV coaches, because they're doing as much teaching as anybody and getting these kids ready for this system. They step right in and off they go. So we're going to take a timeout here, and as we normally do in the pregame show, we're going to have an interview with the defending state championship coach, David Lubowitz. He'll be joining us on the Stadium pregame show with an interview, and we'll be back after that interview, after this timeout. Okay, what did we say, 9:25?
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in Dallas.
And the Stadium pregame show, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell, continues with our coach's pregame interview. And joining us again, as he did so many times last season in their run to the state title, is East Lincoln coach David Lubowitz. Coach, thanks for joining us once again.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I enjoy it. You know I do.
Well, it was great having you on all those times last year. We were able to follow you all the way through the state championship game. But now it's a new season. How did the off season go? Is it any different being a state champion than not being a state champion?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a dynamic. That's part of it. I mean, any year for any team, win a state championship or not, each off season is going to bring challenges. You know, I think that championship brings an extra challenge. You know, I've had a lot of people talk to me about keeping our kids' heads, you know, under control and making sure they're not looking past opponents and not trying to compare themselves to last year's team. So, you know, there's always struggles in the off season. I think the championship just makes it kind of unique in itself.
So how did your off season and preseason go? There's a lot of things that are going to be different about East Lincoln this year.
Yeah, you know, I think we had a lot of questions to answer in the summer, starting with, you know, each group's a little bit different in the summer and what their dedication level is going to be and how much you have to push them. So that's the first thing we had to answer. And I mean, these kids were great. We had a great summer. So I think that, you know, can probably be attributed to our success. We had more kids in the weight room this summer than we've ever had. 17 years I've been at East Lincoln. So we averaged about 60 kids every night. So that was good. And then when you get into camp, you know, when you're replacing all those kids, you've got a lot of questions to answer. So the preseason has been really good with answering questions. Who's going to play this position? What role can this person play? If this kid's going to be our quarterback, what can we run? If these two kids are going to be our safeties, what can we do? That kind of stuff. So, and I think we weren't very impressive in the preseason games, but I think we were answering a lot of questions. And I think at this point we've got, you know, the majority of those questions answered.
So let's take a look at all the changes that you've had to go through. A lot of new faces and places where we've had familiar names. So let's start off offensively. You lose Mazzell, Clark, Walker. Cutter was a fullback for you on a lot of things. And I'm sure there's changes on the offensive line here. So who's really stepping up for you to fill some of these holes?
So the good thing is where we had people back, they've really filled some kind of that leadership, that gap that was gone. So, you know, we did lose Tyler Mazzell and Markel Clark and 4 of the 5 offensive linemen and Keandre Walker. But, like, Jackson Beam played 16 games last year as a sophomore, and he's a leader now. So, that, you know, that run was good for him. He didn't have to be a leader last year, but now this year he is. And then Christian Garcia, who's our center and the only one returning on the line. You know, he didn't have to be a leader on that offensive line last year. This year he does, and that last year's run was good for him. So a lot of the kids who played last year are taking bigger roles. And then, you know, we've just kind of worked it through to where we're fitting in new kids all over the place. we've got a couple more kids that are going to have to play both ways. So Jalen Roseborough, who played a lot of defensive back for us the last 2 years, he's going to also have to play some offense for us.
Okay, and then defensively, you had that all-world defense last year that only gave up 109 points in 16 games. That's just astounding. And then right out of the gate, they pitch a shutout, holds Stuart Kramer to 24 yards.
Oh, is that what it was? I had not seen that stat. That's good. Yeah, but again, I mean, I think a lot of what I said about the offense really applies to the defense. So, I mean, last year, Marcel Johnson, he was all conference. He was the conference defensive player of the year. He's back. So where he didn't have to be that vocal leader last year, he could just kind of play with Ben and play with Aiden and play with Parker, and just kind of be one of their teammates. Now he's that leading role out there. So I mean, he had a big game Friday night, and we expected him to because he played really well last year too. But he's also, he's helping the younger kids or the new kids out and getting them where they need to be. Hampton Good, who started 16 games for us last year. But was kind of that unsung hero, did the little things, had an interception here, had an interception there, made some big plays here or there. Now he's like kind of the focal point of our defense. He's making a lot of the calls, and he's doing a lot of good things. Nate Stevens, who played a lot for us last year, started, I'd say, probably half of the games. He's back. The Roseborough kid, this will be his third year starting for us. So we returned 4 solid, one at each level defensively, so we were happy with that. And all 4 of them have really turned into leaders in their position group, and that's helping us, bring these younger kids along.
So you've had a lot of people to replace and some new people stepping up. Who's someone that, one of the new people that maybe has really stepped up that maybe is kind of a surprise?
Offensively, I mean, you've got to look at the quarterback. We had a battle all through camp. The JV kid last year, Hunter Bowling, and then we had a young kid, a sophomore, move in from Oklahoma in June, late June, early July. And so they battled through. We split time through both of the scrimmages, through all the 7-on-7s, and then the young kid won it. And Grant Lawless is his name. Grant won it right before the first game, and he went out and he was 7 for 10. A little bit over 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, played really well. So I think if he keeps progressing the way he is, I think that'll be a name to look out for. And you can't miss him. He's like 6'3", 190 pounds, big old long kid. So I think that's somebody to look out for. I think that LJ Forney, who played only in about 3 games last year, because he was injured for most of the year, but probably would have started for us last year at one of those slots. He's back and he's healthy, so I think he'll be a big help offensively. And then I think so. LJ's not a new name to us because he's been in the program, and we know how good he is. But I think he'll be a kind of a new name to look for as far as from your standpoint and from the fan standpoint.
So last week again, you had an easy game against Stuart Kramer, and then this week you've got an opponent that you played last year, Forestview. That was a game that you handled fairly easily last year, 53-0. What do you do to keep your team focused when you had an opponent that you dealt with pretty handily last year?
Yeah, I mean, I would think we did that. We do that. That's what we talked about. That's what we put on our scouting report. We said we're coming off a 57-0 win. Forestview got beat by Burns, I think 40-0 or 42-0. We beat Forestview last year, 53-0. And I put in big letters that this is a trap game. We can't look ahead. We've got to focus on being 1-0. I think just hitting that theme over and over again that the games where everybody's expecting you to win are the games that you can easily lose. So that's kind of what we focused on all week is just Forestview. That's all we've talked about is Forestview. We're not talking about conference. We're not talking about Lincolnton. We're not talking about last week. We're just talking about Forestview.
So we're looking forward to seeing what comes out of the game tonight. Coach Lubowitz, we thank you for joining us on the Stadium Pregame Show, again, brought to you by Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell. And we're looking forward to the ball game tonight. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you, man.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the much-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
At Forestview High School, we thank Coach Lubowitz for joining us on the Full Throttle Power Sports of Lowell Stadium pregame show. An interesting interview with Coach. We talked a bit about complacency, the off-season, stuff like that. He kind of joked that he needed a roster to tell who everybody is. There's been so much turnover. But there are a few key players back for each of these teams. So we're going to do that now. We'll take a look at key players to watch for each team. That's brought to you by Key Builders of Lincolnton. So we'll start out with Forestview, and they do have a few players back on offense. They do have their quarterback back. That is Jackson Hill. He's a senior. Threw for 1,200 yards last year, but the problem with them was 3 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Turnovers really plagued Forestview last year, and that could be one of the big reasons they only went 4-6. Christian Howland is back, 777 yards rushing. On the receiver side, it's kind of bare. Nobody over 120 yards in receptions. Defense, Noah Comer, 65 tackles. He was the leading tackler last year, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, like you say, I think offensively, Vay Aldridge may be somebody to kind of keep an eye on for Forestview. Last week he ran one time for 38 yards, but had 3 receptions. They didn't move the ball very well, but he did have some receptions there. So I look for Vay Aldridge to have be part of the offense tonight for Forestview.
And then let's see, they've got 3 different punters last season. Looks like Warsinski's back to do kicking for him, so he may end up doing both. But it was by committee last year, some of their special teams. Now for each, so they had 20. The big problem they had last year was 21 turnovers, 6 fumbles, 15 interceptions. That's just going to disrupt your offense, and it's going to put the other team in good field position most of the time. So hopefully they can get that ironed out, and they'll be more competitive in some of their games this season, and hopefully more competitive tonight. And taking a look at East Lincoln, it is wholesale changes, but there are some people back that really helped them out in the run to the state championship last year. Receiving-wise, you got Jackson Beam. Jackson's back. He's going to be the man to go to this year. I mean, he had a good week last week. 5 catches, 147, was it?
I think I had 67. He might have had total, done some running as well in there.
Might have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys probably had a little early night after that, 57-0 win last week.
Yeah, I'm sure
against Kramer.
Yeah, they had a bunch of people get some time, and that's something that probably happened a lot last year. Might help them a lot, help them be better this year. Is the fact that they had so many games where they just ran away from people in the first half, and then it was just kill the clock, put some people in. It was usually pretty easy picking the Subway sub of the game because somebody would come in off the bench and have a good performance, and they get a lot of playing time. So that seems to be paying dividends this year.
Yeah, I kind of just wrote down a little note that, it's maybe not so much a rebuild as it is a reload.
Yes.
Obviously, we saw that last week, as you mentioned, the transfer lawless quarterback from Oklahoma, 18 for 28, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Almost 30 yards of completion. That's getting it done. And watch him in pregame, it looked like a lot of short passes. So it's the spread offense, but they get those skill players, the Shropshires, the Roseboroughs, Jackson Beam, they get them out in open field and away they go.
Yeah, it's like I said, one thing I noticed, both teams run similar offenses. Obviously, the scheme's going to be different, but it looks like East Lincoln's trying to get that ball out quick, get them out to those speed and, an open space, and then try to take advantage of it. The only difference that, that I saw comparing the two teams was defensively. I think East Lincoln kind of ran a 2-safety deep, and with the corners would probably try to keep everything in front. They would pretty much divide the field into fours, with the 2 safeties basically taken between the hashes and the center of the field. The corners taken from the hashes out to the numbers. They try to keep everything up front, try to use their athleticism and speed, get to the football quick, whereas Forestview, I saw in film, ran more of a single safety high, a lot of players down inside, and with that type of defense, you got to make sure you make tackles up front, because if they get behind you, you're going to see chunk plays.
That's how you get the 30 yards per completion kind of thing. All right, and a couple other players to mention back for East Lincoln. He really came on last year. No one expected much out of him. Chris Daly, the running back. He was only a sophomore, and all of a sudden he's running for almost 1,800 yards and 21 touchdowns, and he destroyed Kings Mountain last year. First play, the seas parted, and he was gone. There was nobody home, and he went 80 yards, and he did that on a lot of occasions last year. He did it in the state title game. He did it against many teams during the season. Really stepped up, and this year he's got his number back. He was number 9 last year. He is Chris Daly II. His nickname is Deuce. He is now wearing number 2 since the 1-2-3 connection of Mizell, Clark, and Walker have graduated. So he's got his number 2. He's got to be a happy camper, and he's going to be one of the big weapons for East Lincoln this year, keeping the pressure off of why can't I remember names? Grant Lawless. So we'll be back with the opening kickoff. We're going to take one more big timeout here before the game starts. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week on KTC Broadcasting.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com. It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup, Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com, serving this area since 1974.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Bennett Funeral Services is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics. and they take this time to wish each of you a successful season. Bennett Funeral Services is family owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit the website at BennettFuneralServices.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 NC Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. They are there for you.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the must-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500.
The captains are now in the center of the field. Bands lined up. There's the inflatable Jaguar down to our right. And we're just waiting. And the toss was won by Forestview. They have accepted the ball to start the game, so East Lincoln will get it at the beginning of the third quarter. And East Lincoln has decided to defend the goal to our left. So Forestview will get the ball first, which is probably a good idea. See if they can get some points on the board quick.
Yeah, I'd like to see Forestview try to control the game a little bit. Don't get in a running match with East Lincoln, because obviously that's something you're not going to want to do.
So now we're getting ready for the teams to run onto the field. Each school is just trying to outdo the other with these things. You got North Lincoln's got the big arch they go through with the fire extinguishers. Looks like 2001 from South Carolina or something. Oh, here we go. Right on cue, fire extinguishers going off and fog coming out for the Jaguars, who will be wearing black uniforms with white numbers. The broadcaster's dream. They're very easy to see. And Forestview comes out on the field. East Lincoln will be wearing the road whites with the orange numbers and green pants. If we see the back of the uniform, we can tell the number pretty easily. The front, they're a little bit smaller. It's because it's got Mustangs across the front too, so.
Got to remember to bring my binoculars next week.
Yeah, speaking of next week, that is going to be Fred T. Ford at West Lincoln. So we're pretty close to the field there. They don't have a track around the field at West Lincoln, so everything's compressed forward. So that's probably one of my favorite places to broadcast from, just because you're so close to the action. Here you've got a football field and a track like most places have. And East Lincoln now finally coming out. They will be kicking off. Kicking this year being done by
I don't know if Thomas Millay is going to be the kicker this year, number 43.
And we saw there's also Braden Kendall listed, Colton Huckleberry. So we saw a couple people warming up before the game. Not sure we'll see who comes out at this point. So again, Forestview will receive. They'll be going from right to left on your radio or internet dial. And we're waiting for East Lincoln, wrong side of the county. And it looks to be number 40, is that 46?
Braden Kendall?
Yeah, Braden Kendall will be doing the kickoff duties. Back to receive is number 3, Ty Aldridge. Talik will be going with Ty. announcer's preference there. We'll go with what's easier to say. So Ty Aldridge will be back. He's prowling around at the goal line, kind of hiding from the East Lincoln kicker. So Braden steps up, and it's kind of a pooch kick. Comes down, it's fielded at the 23-yard line, and there won't be much of a return there. Fielded at the 23 by number 23, Tristan Holt. He first touched it at the 22, misplayed it backwards to the 18, and that's where he snowed under, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Forestview at their own 18.
Again, I expect to see 2 deep safeties for East Lincoln, trying to keep everything in front. Looks like they're going to have 4 down linemen, 2 middle linebackers, and a rover, number 7, Jackson Hill. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong side. Hampton Good.
And Forestview opens up with 3 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Quick throw to the sideline. That one falls incomplete. Hill was looking for an out pattern, and the receiver cut it back inside, and it falls harmlessly to the turf.
I think he was intended for Ty Aldridge, as we're going to go with tonight. It looks like he was going out to block. Looks like a little miscommunication on the first play.
So that brings up 2nd down. This time a few more in the backfield, but still 3 receivers. Handoff up the middle. He's got an opening, breaks out over the 25-yard line to the 30. That is Christian Holland, the leading returner as far as rushing from last season. So he gets out to the 30-yard line, a gain of 12, and that will be a Turner Hauser of Insurance of Lincolnton 1st down for Forestview. So a 12-yard gain there.
Yeah, just a straight run up through the A-gap, which is the spot between the guard and the tackle.
And they go to the same thing again. Holland rather, twists and turns, makes his way out to the 34 for a gain of 4. So they worked once, they went back to it again.
As we mentioned, I'd like to see a little ball control out of Forestview, try to keep that high-powered East Lincoln offense off the field. Great run there. Again, 4 yards at a clip. That'll keep the chains moving.
Yes, it will. Now 2 wing backs, a back in the field, and 1 wide receiver to each side. Man in motion. Handoff is forward to number 10, David Howard. That was brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great play by the East Lincoln defense as they shot in there and brought him down.
Yeah, great read by number 23. We already mentioned his name on the kickoff, but yeah, Xavier Wright saw that play coming, stayed in his spot, let that end come around, and met him right there behind the line of scrimmage.
Loss of 6 on the play, so that's going to, you're talking about ball control. Now they're back to where they're behind the chains, 3rd and 12. This time 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top. Hill back, throws quickly. Receiver was not turned around to look for it. It falls behind him incomplete, and that'll be 4th down in a punting situation for Forestview.
Number 9, Brody Hager, came in on the, looks like a linebacker, outside linebacker blitz. Forced Jackson to get rid of that ball before he wanted to.
And Holland was running down the field, never turned his back around, so if there was a timing pattern involved, the rush disrupted it. He had to throw well before he was ready.
Shropshire set to return.
High snap, fielded, almost blocked, but we're going to have a running into the kicker at least on that one. Punt lands only at the 40. It's touchdown at the 37. East Lincoln with good pressure up the middle, but they run into the kicker. It's a personal foul penalty. That'll be 15 yards and an automatic 1st down.
Well, it's one way to keep possession of the ball is to have a little help from the East Lincoln defense.
Never hurts. So the roughing call goes against the Mustangs. And let's see where they marked this. So they mark it from the line of scrimmage, the 28. That should bring it out to the 43, and it does. So this penalty first down, again, brought to you by Turner Hauser Insurance of Lincolnton. And the drive stays alive for the Jaguars. Again, good pressure, but they missed the ball, but got the kicker. So Hill in the shotgun. 2 running backs, high snap, disrupts the handoff, fumble, and it's recovered by East Lincoln. The same problem they had last year with turnovers, bites them again this year. Marcel Johnson, we'll call that name a lot tonight, number 0, recovers the fumble for East Lincoln.
That's pretty close to where that punt ended up, even though they had the penalty. So it was really just let Forestview run one play and then got the ball where the punt went. Yeah, obviously that was disrupted by the high snap. The timing was off a little bit. Never really got it into the belly of the running back, and ball ended up on the ground. First down, East Lincoln.
First down for East Lincoln in plus territory at the 41-yard line. You're right, that was about where the punt came down. So, in the shotgun, quick throw out to Jackson Beam. He's got it, tries to slip a tackle, gets forward to the 38-yard line, gain of 3.
Great tackle by number 21 for Forestview. I think that's Love, Paul Love. He, as we mentioned in the pregame, he had 6 tackles last week. And you can need him to be big, make sure he keeps these East Lincoln wideouts in front of him. It makes those kind of tackles.
So the quarterback for East Lincoln now is Grant Lawless, the transfer from Miami, Oklahoma. It's spelled like Miami, but they don't pronounce it that way out there. Handoff up the middle to Chris Daly, the Deuce. And he doesn't get very far with that. Loses a yard on the play. Good pressure up the middle by Forestview on that one.
Yeah, one of the returners for Forestview is Comer, and he made his presence felt on that one. And he shot up through that A-gap we mentioned and made a great tackle.
3 wide for East Lincoln to the right. Looking over the sideline, see what Matt Beam wants to call. Lawless goes up, makes a call to the lineman, and there's a snap. Quick throw out, Beam again on a slant pattern. He's got it, first down and more. He's down across the 20-yard line to the 18. Nice pitch and catch there. Threw it maybe 3 yards, but got a whole bunch.
Therese Thames with the tackle on that one. Yeah, as we mentioned, East Lincoln wants to get that ball out quick, and that was a great little slant post pattern. Good completion, first down.
Gain of 19 on the play, and we've got a whistle before it starts. Forestview already wants to slow down East Lincoln, and they call timeout. We'll keep it here. So I don't think this is going to be a very long timeout, because I think the Forestview coaches is like, hey, we got to make an adjustment. Watch this 14 kid. Beam's been open on 2 quick hitters, and they've already got a 3-yard and a 19-yard completion out of it.
Yeah, I can't take these first half timeouts with you to the second half, so might as well use them to either stop momentum or save from a penalty. And probably a good call there by 17th year coach Medlin for Forestview. He's 2 wins away from 100, which is magic numbers a lot of times here in high school football.
You have to be around a long time to get to that, or you have to have a program like Lubowitz has where he can rack up 16 wins in a season. Then the math adds up real fast. So again, they're back on the field. It wasn't a long timeout. It was just catch your breath, let's get things sorted out timeout for Forestview.
And they're showing a little bit of that 2 safety look that East Lincoln likes to run. So they're, again, maybe, as we mentioned, trying to keep those receivers at least in front, try to make them go, use all 4 downs to get first downs. We'll see if that holds up.
3 wide receivers to the short side to the left. Lawless hands off to Daly. He's got an opening, wide open, over across the 10, the 5, touchdown East Lincoln, but there's a flag behind the play. That's going to get called back, either a hold or a black on the back downfield.
Yeah, it looks like Shropshire there, number 5 for East Lincoln, held on a little too long. If he would have just held his position and just kind of shadowed him, Daly was going to the house either
So
way.
let's see. Daly gets credit of running down to the 3-yard line. So he gets a gain of 16 on that. Here's where you got to figure everything out. Then they'll tack the penalty onto that. So that's already 2 penalties for 25 yards against East Lincoln. But when they get done here, they will have, so a net on that play. They do get the ball at the 13-yard line, so it's a 10-yard penalty. So it'll be 1st and 4. You don't normally see that outside a goal to go. So it's going to be 1st and 4 from the 13. Points come off the board. Still no score, 8:11 to go in the first quarter. But East Lincoln driving after the Forestview fumble. 2 wide each side. Linebacker cheats up, then steps back. And that's going to be
play clock
violation.
Yeah, taking a little bit of time to get the play call in, so we'll see if.
I'm not sure if it changed it. The middle linebacker ran up to the line of scrimmage and then ran back. I wonder if that threw a little monkey wrench in the plans there. So 1st and 9. Lawless under pressure, and he's sacked in the backfield. Good penetration by the Forestview defense. They bring Lawless down at the 27-yard line. That's going to be a loss of 14 on the play.
We mentioned, again, key player for Forestview. That was Comer, who's switched to number 55 this week from number 5. But, yeah, he came in on that blitz up through that A-gap. Lawless didn't have much time to throw it on that one.
So it'll be 2nd down and 18. 10 on the play clock. Snap. Lawless rolls out to his left. Looking downfield, keeps it, and gets tackled for another loss. This one not quite as big, but yet another loss on the play. No one was open downfield. Good coverage.
Yeah, Comer came on the blitz, but put him right into the other linebacker, Drisden Dunlap for Forestview. Able to contain him and make sure that there was no gain on that play.
And actually a loss of 1. So would that go as a sack or not? Because he looked like he was looking to pass. So probably call that a sack. 2nd one in 2 plays for Forestview. And after it looked like East Lincoln was going to get on the board quickly, now they've put the bus in reverse. And they're at the 28-yard line. Clock is already down to 3. And East Lincoln's forced to take a timeout. So will we. We'll be back after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersinn.kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Surprised there's no penalty.
I can't believe that's not a call. Back here at Forestview, 3rd down was run by East Lincoln. A quick pass to, supposed to be for Jackson Beam, was thrown over him, and then he was lit up by the linebacker well after the play. No call. Beam appealing to the official that, hey, that should be a personal foul. It kind of looked like one. So that was incomplete, intended for Beam. And East Lincoln out of field goal range, so they're going to go for it on 4th down, 3 wides to the right. Big throw down the field, and it's caught in the end zone. Number 5, Riley Shropshire, on a fly pattern down the right side. He catches it in stride for the touchdown. A touchdown brought to you by Whitetail Properties of Falston, and it's 6-0 East Lincoln.
He obviously just had enough possession because he took a couple steps after and lost the ball, and they still gave him breaking the plane. And great throw there from Lawless.
Nice touch, floated that in over the defender, right in stride. And we've got another penalty marker down on the field, so let's hold on. We're going to have another touchdown taken off the board because the sticks have not moved. Or is there going to be a question whether he actually had possession? Dead ball, foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against East Lincoln.
Might have been after the play, so the touchdown may count. They may have to.
It looks like he's pointing like they're going to assess it on the kickoff. So the points will stay on the board. 6:26 to go in the first quarter. Touchdown pass for East Lincoln. Lawless to Shropshire. 28-yard touchdown pass. And it's 6-0.
Still some confusion out here as to where they're gonna assess the penalty. As of right now, they're marking it at the 3-yard line for the normal PAT or conversion, depending on what the offense wants to do.
The referee came over and talked to Coach Medlin there for a bit, so maybe we'll see what's going on here. And Lawless is coming back on the field, so I think they're going to mark it off far enough back. East Lincoln's figuring they don't want to kick it that far. So they assess the 15-yard penalty on the conversion. So we're going to have a conversion attempt brought to you by James River Equipment of Shelby. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-point conversion attempt from the 18-yard line. Well, he just scored from the 28. What's 18 yards?
Interesting here that they got the middle linebacker Comer, who we've mentioned a few times already, back playing safety.
Can you drop kick an extra point? Maybe he's waiting for that.
I don't think they've got Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie, I think, was the last person to attempt that.
Lawless back, throws. He's going forward, the corner of the end zone for L.J. Forney. That falls incomplete. So the conversion is no good. And on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's East Lincoln 6, Forestview 0. We'll be back after this timeout on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at NesbittOil.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
Timeout's going to help us out with the broadcast.
Yeah. East Lincoln's got a better crowd. Back here at Forestview, getting ready to kick off, Braden Kendall, another pooch kick. This one's fielded on the run by number 10, David Howard. He gets about 6 yards, and he gets blasted by number 27, Bo Bradford. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Forestview at the 29-yard line.
They moved the ball early in the last possession and then got kind of stumbled around a little bit. Of course, lost the ball there after the roughing the kicker. I'd like to see him get back to some of those quick plays or those runs up the middle.
Yeah, that worked well. They had 2 in a row by Holland. Yeah, 2 in a row by Holland. Handoff in the backfield, and guess who? Marcel Johnson. He's starting to look like that old Bubba Smith commercial where he said, I just grabbed the whole backfield and sorted it out until I find the one with the ball, because he almost took the handoff.
Right, he was up there quick. I was thinking of Bubba Smith in Police Academy taking the seats out so he could fit in the vehicle. But
we're both showing our age. There we go. So it'll be 2nd and 16. Holland and Howard, this is going to be confusing all night, did not get very far on that particular one. Hill rolls back to set up a screen. They've got it. Pass is completed out in the flat to number 44, Driston Dunlap. He's got open field in front of him, but he slips and falls.
Yeah, I think the 25-yard line might have got him on that one. I mean, had a couple blockers out in front, might have got that first down, or at least close to it, if he didn't slip there on the 25-yard line. Got another flag down.
So that may have been the first completion of the night. It was a well set up screen. They let the defense in. They had it set up over on the left side. Let's see what the call is, whether that pass completion will stand. They're still behind. They did gain about 4 on the play. Long discussion again, and this flag's picked up.
It always amazes me why you throw the flag. You must have saw something. So after discussion, that'll be a completion to number 44 for
4 yards.
Yeah, Driston Dunlap. It's a good thing that he got rid of the ball. I don't know if, obviously good play call during a blitz there, but he had to get rid of it because they were coming up again. Looked like it was, again, Marcel Johnson.
We're going to be calling his name all night. That's just how he is. Last year, I mean, he had a ridiculous number of tackles for losses. I think it was 31. Yeah, 36. He had 36 tackles for loss last year. He was just a monster in the middle. Hill drops back, throws one for the sideline, a little hand fighting between the receivers out just over the 50-yard line. It falls incomplete. Pass was intended for Aldridge. Roseboro on the coverage. I'm sorry, Shropshire. Roseboro was on this side. So that is incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not sure that could have been caught. So, a lot of, like you said, you mentioned, a lot of hand fighting there, but it looked like it was well thrown over the intended receiver. So that might have been a reason why the flag was not thrown.
Yeah, they're fighting pretty good, and the ball's 5 yards over their heads. It's like, start running, fellas. I don't see the punter on here.
63? Acock?
Oh, is it 63? Okay.
All the way down. You don't usually see that number as a kicker.
No, not normally. So,
another timeout by
Forestview. There was some confusion on the setup. So Grayson Acock will punt when they come back out on the field. Again, we'll keep it here. 4:57 to go in the first quarter. Kind of a slow-paced first quarter. This has taken quite a while. We've only played 7 minutes of football, and it's taken almost 26 minutes. Definitely not a West Lincoln, North Lincoln type game where it's the entire half takes 26 minutes.
Yeah, this game kind of reminds you of a game that might be that first week of the season. But, again, it's only week 2, so teams still kind of getting familiar with each other a little bit. To be expected. One thing, I guess, having 63 as a kicker, he looks like a big boy. Obviously, if they try to return it, looks like he can go out and make a tackle. Let's hope it's not needed, though.
No. If it gets to him, if it gets to the kicker, you've got issues. Although there have been a few kickers over the years that have not afraid to make tackles. I think there was one for Texas Tech. He'd light up people. He was great. As college football starts tomorrow, there's the punt. Barely gets to the line of scrimmage, hits at the 42-yard line and bounces backwards and is touchdown at the 39-yard line. So a punt of 13 yards.
That's about the same field position that they started the last drive on after that fumble.
They had it at the 41, now they're at the 39, so you are correct. Right around the plus 40-yard line. So again, great field position for the Mustangs. They get the ball in Jaguar territory. Nothing like a short field to help out your offense.
We mentioned one of the keys of the game was control the clock, get the ball down in East Lincoln's end of the field, but obviously two drive starts inside, the 45. That's not a recipe for success.
So Lawless back in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 2 each side. Hand off to Daly. He finds a hole, works his way over the right side, breaks a tackle, works his way down to the 25-yard line. That'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
I don't know if he's covered in oil or what, but he made a couple of great moves right through the line there, and they just couldn't tackle him. Couldn't wrap their arms around him, so about 4 or 5 eventually got him down there, as you mentioned, about the 25-yard line.
For his size, he's surprisingly elusive, but boy, if you give him open field, there's some speed. Hand off to Daly again, works over the right side again. That one will probably come back as there's a penalty marker back at the 24-yard line. Daly got down to about the 15. It would have been close to a first down. However, more yellow laundry. And again, it's waved off.
Looks like he's following that right side of the offensive line. 54 is the center for East Lincoln, Christian Garcia. We'll have to see what the, it's like 52, Era Vaughn is offensive line. They're just going on that right side, pushing Forestview back.
Second and long one. Lawless drops the snap, but gets the pass out. It's Jackson Beam. He makes the catch in traffic, spins, and gets down to about the 7-yard line. So another first down for the Mustangs, another quick throw.
Yeah, we said both offenses run about the same type of offense. East Lincoln likes to get that ball out quick, let their playmakers make plays, and way to lose, get rid of a tackle there and to pick up the first down. And it was good to see, Deshaun Bay for Forestview make that tackle, or that was another 6.
First goal from the 8. Hand off to Daly. There's plenty of room over the right side again. He goes to the outside, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. No flags on that. The wide receiver just kind of threw an obstruction block. Didn't hit anybody, just stood in the way. That was Riley Shropshire. And Daly casually jogs into the end zone for another East Lincoln touchdown.
I think that was the same play that was called back by Shropshire with the holding penalty. So he knew better than to grab a hold of the jersey. As I mentioned, he just kind of mirrored him on that one, put his hands up, and that was a great read there by Daly and a fantastic run to the outside.
So that makes it 12-0. And now Braden. Do I have that right? Braden. Yes, Braden Kendall. Early season for announcers, too. We got to give you some snap, hold, and it's blocked at the line of scrimmage. So the point after touchdown is no good. And on the First Federal Savings scoreboard, it's East Lincoln 12, Forestview 0. We'll be back after this timeout on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you gonna call? Bug Busters.
Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com and like them on Facebook too. Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln.
Jaguars will have it first and 10.
Back at Forestview, the kickoff by Braden Kendall goes down to the 19-yard line, gets fielded by David Howard. He brings it back to the 25-yard line, return of 6 yards. It'll be first and 10 for Forestview at their own 25-yard line.
This might be an official's timeout for hydration. Obviously, as we mentioned, very warm, humid tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer and more humid than it was last week. And we're trying to hydrate ourselves here.
12-0 East Lincoln. As we were talking during the timeout, they only have about 80 yards of total offense after those short fields, one with a turnover and a short 13-yard punt. Again, that's not a recipe when you're playing against a team like East Lincoln. You've got to get some possession, get some time off the clock, get that ball down in their end of the field, at least make them go the length of the field, not these, 40-yard drives. With that type of powerful offense, you want to, again, keep possession, get that ball down the field, flip that field position, and see what happens from there.
So again, everybody trying to hydrate on a warm night, including us. The press box here at Forestview is air conditioned, as in the air that is moving through the press box. There's an open door and an open window in front of us.
Old school fan through both ends of the press box here. Unlike last week where we were spoiled a little bit.
Oh, you get
Lincolnton.
spoiled at Lincolnton. Yeah. That's, as I've said before, that is the Taj Mahal of high school press boxes. There are small colleges that are jealous of that press box. I mean, it's beautiful. There's seating inside of it above where the people working are. There's not too many high schools this side of Texas that have one that nice. Hill, back to pass, quick out pattern. He completes it to number 8, Elijah Wilson, over on the sideline. He steps out at the 32. So a short gain, but a good one for Forestview on first down.
Again, anytime they can get positive yards, move the ball up the field, keep the clock moving, they've got to do a better job flipping this field position. Great play there, though. Great timing.
So 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line. 3 wide, and it's dropped by Hill. He drops the snap, unable to pick it up, so he just falls on it. So they will lose yardage back to the 27-yard line. So you make a good play, and then we lose yardage, and now it's 3rd and long.
Well, like that first possession where they got some runs up the middle. They got a first down. They started moving the ball, and then, again, just costly mistakes, something you can't do against the Mustangs.
Blitz coming up the middle. It's 55. Pass is thrown early, and it's to the center of the field. Nobody home for either team. And that'll bring up 4th down. Again, a quick 3 and out for Forestview, and that is just not a good recipe for success.
Yeah, that was 55, Raiden Brooks for East Lincoln. He saw something, obviously the coach's call. He came straight up the gut. Hill had to get rid of it. I don't know if I would have thrown the ball in the middle of the field. I probably would have thrown it more out the sidelines. But
that's where everybody was. Yeah, and then he had help from Xavier Wright. 23 came around the end as well. So Hill was under duress quickly on that play. So into punt will be Grayson Aycock. Low snap. He gets this kickoff high, not very far, towards the sideline. And yet again, East Lincoln's going to get possession in Jaguar territory. Well, this time they're going to have to go a whole 48 yards.
2:49 remains here in the first quarter. Your score, East Lincoln 12, Forestview 0.
So 2:23 to go in the quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 for East Lincoln. Again, on the plus side of the field at the 47. The entire game has been played at the right end of the field. Forestview's defending.
Sort of a good thing for us as the press box. We are on the right side, looking right at them. We've been here the whole game.
Daly goes in motion to the right. Throwback, that's going to be a lateral. Gets it out to Daly in space. He makes a man move, works his way across the 40 down to the 36-yard line. A late flag comes in on the far sideline. That is actually a running play there, as the pass went backwards from Lawless to Daly. So let's see what comes of this. Or is this one going to be picked up and waved off again? That seems to be, it's either an East Lincoln penalty or it's waved off. It's been one or the other tonight.
Well, having that discussion again, I don't see the flag now. That
it was right in front, just past the first down marker.
Oh, there he put it back. This might be unsportsmanlike after the play. It might be been some talking going on after it. We'll have to wait and see what the officials call here.
They're taking their time about it. It is unsportsmanlike. This time it's on Forestview. That'll be, we can't see or hear the number, so we don't know who it's against. So it'll go from the 36-yard line, which would have been a first down. So Daly gets credit to the 36. That's a gain of 11 for him. And then the first penalty of the night is unsportsmanlike conduct against Forestview. That'll be 15 yards. And here we go, East Lincoln just outside the red zone, first down at the 21-yard line.
Anytime you're playing a team like East Lincoln, can't make mistakes, can't make silly penalties. Forestview is just shooting themselves in the foot here.
The turnover, they get a roughing the kicker and then fumble it on the next play.
Right.
I mean, it's just nothing has gone right. Handoff, Daly up the middle. A little trouble on the exchange, but he manages to squeak out a couple yards.
Again, 55 Comer came off the edge, but Daly ran right into 65 on the defensive line rather. Where Forestview, that was Case Phillips.
That one collapsed pretty quick. Even with the misplay in the backfield, the defense did collapse that line pretty quickly. Second down and 9 from the 20. Lawless back, looks, throws down the sideline. We've got Shropshire breaking it off to the outside, Beam going to the inside, and the pass going to the corner. Nobody home.
And we mentioned two deep safeties. Like I said, everybody thinks that's sort of a passing defense, but when they do pass, that middle of the field's wide open. So it looked like Beam was thinking, yeah, that post would have been open. A little miscommunication between Lawless and Beam there. But again, two safeties doesn't necessarily mean it's a passing defense, because they can get up and fill those lanes pretty much from outside the defensive end or outside the offensive tackles. But again, everybody's got to be disciplined. Corners usually take that part of the field from the hashes out to the sideline. So we'll see how that works moving forward.
Play clock down the 2, but they get it off. And probably wish they hadn't. Lawless takes the snap. There's nothing there as Forestview shoots the gaps quickly, brings him down in the backfield. Back to the 25, loss of 5.
We're going to mention Johnson for East Lincoln on the defensive side, but we've mentioned Comer a bunch of times here for Forestview. I have him down for 2 solo tackles, 2 assisted tackles, and a sack. So he's been all over the field here for Forestview. The one bright spot early on here in the game.
We're down to the final minute of the first quarter finally, and East Lincoln takes a timeout. It's 4th down. We'll be back with that right after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week. I hate to do that.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Plan now to attend this year's Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th. 11 big days of fun for the entire family. Entertainment includes Act Monsters Chainsaw Work, The Circus Incredible with high-flying aerial artists, The Electrifying Magic, starring Jay Matoli from America's Got Talent and Showtime at the Apollo, and Hog Diggity Dog, the very best animal act ever, and Nashville recording artist John Morris, along with 40 Right Hopper rides, games, food stands, and more. The Cleveland County Fair, September 28th through October 8th, online at clevelandcountyfair.com.
Back at Forestview, the timeout's over. East Lincoln lined up on 4th and 14. Threw a pass in the end zone. Shropshire was just unable to pull it in. He was really close to the back of the end zone. I'm not sure if he would have been able to get a foot down in time. So that pass falls incomplete. So that falls incomplete, and for the first time tonight, East Lincoln is stopped by Forestview. 31.6 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was close to the back of the end zone. He might have been able to get 1 foot down if he would have got a hold of it, but just out of the reach. A lot like that first touchdown they had. That would have been interesting 4th down play, and they get a touchdown, but was for naught.
So 1st and 10 for Forestview. Their own 25-yard line after the missed conversion. Direct snap to Howard. Howard carries the ball up the middle. He's going to be close to a first down. They're signaling move the chains. So a gain of 10 by Howard on the play.
I'm not sure if that was a direct snap. As Jackson Hill's on the sideline, that may be more like a little wildcat type of play there. A little elusive number 10 for Forestview. Yeah, David Howard, but yeah, great run, great mix up there.
That is the first Turner Hauser Insurance first down of the game for Forestview, and that's going to be the final play of the first quarter. So after one, it's East Lincoln 12, Forestview 0 on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Only took 45 minutes for that first quarter. 45-minute first quarter. Might want to order breakfast.
At 10:30. And that's not counting halftime. Well, I mean, they've waved off about 5 penalties. You know the track's old and decrepit when they park the ambulance on it. You won't see that on any Lincoln County field.
You will see that in Gaston County. Ridiculous. I don't see Hill coming on the field. Going to stay with Howard.
Yeah, they got Howard playing. Do you see him anywhere, number 7?
Yeah, he's over here by the coach.
Okay. Back here for the second quarter, LincolnCounty.com football brought to you by Bug Busters of Lincolnton, our title sponsor. Again, Jackson Hill is not on the field. Direct snap to Howard. He pitches it out to number 9, Holland. And Holland gets out to the 49-yard line. So is this Wildcat, or is this just like a substitute quarterback that's going to kind of run it?
Well, like I say, it's a little early for the play, sub of the game for Subway of Boger City, but it looks like a quick little change of pace. That was a little option, just a quick pitch out to, as you mentioned, Chris and Holland. Great run down the right side.
Gain of 14 on the play. Almost an option kind of thing. Howard took about 3 steps and pitched it. Looked like a wishbone kind of offense. So first down at the 49-yard line. trying to get into East Lincoln territory for the first time tonight. Howard takes a snap, goes up the middle. He's got an opening. He breaks free at the 40, 30. He's being chased down, and he's brought down just short of the end zone at the 2-yard line. But I think the Forestview coaches may have found something here. This Wildcat option type offense is causing some issues for East Lincoln.
And he's not a very big kid, so, you know, he's kind of sitting behind those lines. I'm not sure that they could see him when he gets out there. We got Hill coming back in, but as you mentioned, great little change of pace, a lot of speed. That was just basically a straight off tackle play. Big gain.
47 yards. Down to the 2-yard line. But now they changed it up, as you said. They bring Hill back in at quarterback. And Forestview has burned their last time out of the half. Important time to do it, though. You've made some big plays. You don't want to lose momentum. You want to make sure you get the play you want. You're 2 yards from scoring and getting within one possession game.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little surprised. I mean, you found something that works. I mean, I don't know why you just don't stay with it. I know Jackson Hill is your returner, probably one of your leaders on the offensive side, but a great change of pace. Might be one of those things that you just kind of hang out and keep trying and keep working on. It's obviously positive gain for the 3 plays that he's run.
And I wonder if I doubt that Kramer ran anything like that. So this is probably the first option style that East Lincoln has seen. And I remember from last year against North Lincoln, I mean, you had that all-world defense you had for East Lincoln last year, and North Lincoln carved them up on the first possession with that option. It takes a little getting used to. And then after that, North Lincoln really did nothing. This is the first that the East Lincoln defense this year has seen this sort of thing. So the key will be, can they make the adjustments, or is this something that they might be vulnerable to? Hill back to pass, quick out at the goal line. He throws it. Pass is intended for Ty Aldridge. It's behind him and falls incomplete.
And they're also running away from number 0, Marcel Johnson. So, yeah, I mean, just like we sort of saw last week with Lincolnton running away from one of their key defensive players. Yeah, keep that away from number 0, run it the other way. And obviously it's been very successful.
So 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 1 way to the right. Handoff up the middle. That's going nowhere. He might gain 1. And somebody's lost their hat. That's number 24.
Stevens.
Tiberius Stevens. He's going to have to come off, I would imagine.
Oh, he made a great play down there inside the 2-yard line. He met him right at the line of scrimmage, and he went straight backwards. Great play there by Stevens.
So now to be 3rd and goal from the 2.
Looks like Hill is out again, going back to that Wildcat look.
He's standing next to the coaches, you're right. 3 wide receivers. Backfield, snap. He gets around the right side, and he dives. Are they going to give him the touchdown? They're saying he's down just short of the goal line. The linesman on this side has got it marked at about the half-yard line.
East Lincoln comes up with the football. He stretched out, and the safety came in and popped him, and that ball came right out. But they're going to say that he was down by contact inside about the 1-yard line.
So it's going to be 4th and goal at about the half-yard line, it looks like. Big play here for Forestview.
And Hill's back in the play.
Hill's back in the lineup at quarterback. And he's going to be alone in the backfield. 5 wides right at the moment. They shift Aldridge over to the left, so they've got 3 left, 2 right. Hill takes it, buries his way behind the line. Is he in? We're waiting on the signal.
I don't think he got in.
They are not showing him in the end zone. I've seen no signal for touchdown yet.
The ball's back at the 8-yard line.
East Lincoln players, of course, are saying he didn't get in, he didn't get in. And now that 20 seconds later, they finally signal touchdown. East Lincoln, of course, is not happy about it, and a flag flies.
I still have not seen
There's not
a
been
call
a signal.
by the official.
There has not been a signal for a touchdown. Forestview celebrating. They run off the field. The fans are celebrating. Are we going to ever get a signal? This officiating crew has been very interesting to deal with. So now he comes over to Medlin, Coach Medlin here on the sideline. We're probably going to have another unsportsmanlike conduct on East Lincoln.
I see 0 for East Lincoln. Johnson walking off the field with his helmet in his hand. That would be a big loss if it's an ejection, but we'll wait and see what the call is.
So they've put 6 points on the scoreboard without ever signaling that that he broke the plane of the goal line. And it was Jackson Hill just sneaking behind the line. There it is. It only took 90 seconds.
It looks like the penalty is going to be assessed on the kickoff from that call as well.
Grayson Aycock, the lineman, and also the kicker and punter, on to attempt the extra point. So a touchdown for Forestview. Controversial, but it's on the board. High snap. It's disrupted. Aycock picks it up. He's going to go around the left side and runs it into the end zone. He makes the conversion, so the points after touchdown is good. Brought to you by James River Equipment of Shelby. The snap was very high. It was fumbled. Aycock picks it up, and the lineman rumbles around the left side and scores.
Number 10, David Howard, was the holder. Good thing he didn't fall on it because his knee is already down. But the kicker, as we mentioned, big boy, picked up that ball and just went out to the left side. Nobody there. Great heads-up play there by the kicker, 63. Aycock. Like I said, he's a load to bring down, even though he is the kicker. Great job there.
So with 9:20 to go on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's 12-8. First points of the season for the Jaguars and the first points of the season given up by East Lincoln. And we've got ourselves a ball game at the moment.
I was actually somewhat surprised. I think you also have the option of maybe taking the half to the distance there and maybe trying to go for the 2-point conversion from the 1.5 yards. Obviously that worked out because they got the 2 points anyway, and then they get assessed the penalty. They're kicking from the 50-yard line.
It's not been a typical first half. That's for sure. We've seen some interesting things. East Lincoln's never had to start in their own territory. And now Forestview takes it and drives way down the field.
I stand corrected. They're actually going to be kicking from East Lincoln's side of the field from their 45.
So the 15-yard penalty, and that's the 5th penalty on East Lincoln already. And they have 5 penalties for 60 yards. So Riley Shropshire and L.J. Forney are back to receive the kick. I'm not sure how much of a kick this will be. They're going from only 45 yards. They could get a touchback very easily, and that's what they do.
Might be a field goal.
And that's pounded through the uprights. Crowd's cheering like they get 3 points, but they don't.
That was Warsinski, number 89 for Forestview. We
Who's
thought was the normal kicker, but
yeah, we thought he was going to be the kicker, Clemety Warsinski, one of the great names of high school football. So East Lincoln will take over 1st and 10 in their own territory at the 20-yard line. So after having to go 41, 39, and 49 yards to get to the end zone on their first possessions, now they're staring at 80 yards of carpet. So we'll see if they can sustain a drive. Handoff on the reverse. It's L.J. Forney. He takes it from Lawless, gets around the left side of the formation, and he's finally forced out of bounds at the 31-yard line. That'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
Just a straight reverse over to the left. I thought Forestview had it covered there for a little while, but great blocking on the outside by Roseboro there to let that play bounce and pick up 11 yards.
Lawless, hands off to Daly. He goes around the right side. He's in the outside in the open field. Tries to hurdle a tackle, gets tripped up. But he's taken down at about the 38-yard line. So a good gain of 7 on the play. Still early in the second quarter. It's 12-8 Mustangs over the Jaguars. 2nd and 3 at the 38. Lawless hands off to Daly up the middle. He works through traffic. Stays on his feet, breaks a tackle. He's to the outside. He's going for the sideline over the 40, over the 30. And Daly gets down to the 5-yard line. Forestview is screaming for a holding penalty behind the play.
And there is a flag down, about the 48-yard line.
There's one at the 48, and the sideline official threw a beanbag down at the 21 where they thought there was some holding. So let's see what happens here. Daly is down on the field, just off the field at the 4-yard line after that run. Great play. He bounced it to the outside, broke a tackle, went down the sideline. I don't know. Well, it's early season. I bet it's a cramp.
Could be. Look, but there was 2 guys on him. I wonder if they got up on his ankles. Sometimes when they tackle, they kind of put all that weight on the ankle. A great hustle there by number 4, Bay, and number 21, Love, for Forestview to not give up on it and make the play, but we'll have to wait and see what the penalties are, whether that play even stands. I don't see him bringing the leg up like it's a cramp. Either that or he might have landed on the ball and knocked the wind out of him.
So they're marking off the penalty is a 10-yard penalty from where the flag went down, so that's probably going to be holding. And that's going to wipe out a big play for Chris Daly. He's up, but he's walking a little gingerly. Well, jogging a little gingerly, but he's probably still faster than me.
Yeah, he might have just been winded on that one. Like I said, he started the ball inside, broke it to the outside, probably ran about 60 yards in total. Hot, humid night, he might just be out of gas.
Might be 60 yards in this weather as opposed to running 60 yards in November or December is a little different animal. So that play gets wiped out. They move the ball back all the way to the 40-yard line. So because of where the penalty was, they actually gained 2 yards on the play.
2nd and 1.
So 2nd and 1 from the 40 after the 2-yard penalty-infused play. And now in the backfield, Lawless hands off. Who's back there? Is it Johnson? He's been doing some fullback duties back there as well, so we can't see who it is.
That Roseboro, number 4?
That's what it looks like. It may have been Roseboro, number 4, with the carry. And he'll have a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as he gets out to the 46-yard line, gain of 6.
Comer for Forestview had been off for a couple plays. Again, it might have just been that heat. I don't know if he's going both ways or not. But he's been all over the field for Forestview, and a great tackle after that.
The running back looks to be 92, or is that 32 for East Lincoln? Lawless holds it, throws. He double clutched. He was looking for Beam on a slant pattern again, and the double clutch brought some coverage.
That's intended for Jackson Beam, falls incomplete. And on the coverage for Jaguars.
Joshua Howard might have got an interception there, but his own player kind of hit him and knocked the ball loose. Or that might have been an interception, and then he might have got some yardage after that one, as there wasn't many East Lincoln players in front of him.
That looks like 32's come into the game in the backfield. That's C.J. Holler. He's listed as a running back. CJ has quite the locks down the back, so we're having trouble seeing the number if that is CJ. High snap, handoff to Forney on the reverse. He comes around the left side, stutter steps, but is unable to get away from the Forestview defense. And we've got another flag behind the play. Beam and number 21, Paul Love, were locked up downfield. Beam had his helmet removed by Love. That still looks like 92, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is 32.
There's one small problem. There is no 92 on the roster for East Lincoln. That's why I thought, well, maybe it's 32. So the play gets up to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 9, or I'm sorry. That's a gain of 3 on the play.
Officials have been very deliberate. They're making a lot of talks when they throw these flags. We've seen a couple picked up.
More than a couple.
and now we're waiting again to see what the call is.
So whatever they're doing here, they're sending the teams off to get a bit of a break so they can figure out what's going on here. And now, so we've got unsportsmanlike conduct against Forestview. Like I said, they were locked up in the secondary, and Jackson Beam ended up without his hat, so it got wrenched off by Love.
Well, that's got to be our 4th or 5th unsportsmanlike penalty after the play. So these teams are getting after it. The coaches need to calm them down, because if there hasn't been an ejection yet, but it's going to be coming if they can't control themselves.
Well, there's at least 4 people that already have their first unsportsmanlike. Second one is an automatic, correct?
That is correct. But another Turner Hauser Insurance of Lincolnton first down.
This time by penalty. So they moves the ball into Forestview territory, now down at the 36-yard line. So the play clock's running is at 15. East Lincoln, as they want to do, will look over to Coach Beam, Matt Beam, Jackson's dad, to see what they want to do. Clock's down to 5, 4. And they just get it off. Lawless keeps, goes up the middle. I don't think it was supposed to be a quarterback draw, but it turned out to be one. And he's going to be close to another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Up forward to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, he was looking left, the single receiver side, and it was covered, so he just tucked it up. Was able to get 9 yards on that play. Smart idea, just tucking it and running, got 9 yards. Keep the chains moving, and better of all, keep the clock moving.
Down to 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. LincolnCounty.com high school football brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. Lawless takes the snap, hands off, looks to be Holler. He goes around the right side, pulls the defender forward, finally brought down at the 21-yard line, but that'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. East Lincoln just reeling them off here as they march down the field, this time a full field.
And Noah Comer again for Lincolnton made the play there with a little help from number 21, Love. It's not always good when the safety's making a lot of tackles. That means that they're at least getting 5, 6, 7 yards at a time.
So 1st and 10 at the 21, just outside the red zone. Lawless hands up the middle. Big opening, breaks through, looks to be C.J. Holler, and he is in, and we get a signal for a touchdown this time. Another Whitetail Properties touchdown for the Mustangs. Whitetail Properties in Falston. And it's now 18-8 East Lincoln with the lead, and a James River Equipment of Shelby PAT coming up after this.
Out of the shotgun, he had a running back on each side, kind of a little counter play, ran a little fake right with the left H-back. Came back against the grain, get Comer going one way, as we mentioned his name all over the place today with Forestview. Got him going too far, and a great run, great play there.
And East Lincoln lines up and goes for two, and it's successful. So now with 5:15 to go in the first half, East Lincoln 20, Forestview 8. We'll be back on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Decoration here. Braden Kendall tried to do the drag kick for an onside kick. Problem was, he touched the ball at the 49-yard line. It only went 9 yards. He did recover it, but he touched it at the 49, so that makes it automatically possession for Forestview. And they'll have good field position, 1st and 10 for Forestview at the East Lincoln 49-yard line, where it was first touched.
They did catch Forestview kind of sleeping there. They would have got it if he just let it go that extra yard.
As they all turned around and looked for a return. He had another 4 or 5 yards before there was anybody. He just had to wait, but didn't.
Looks like Howard again in the Wildcat.
They've had some success with this. Got a touchdown out of it. Howard makes the pitch out to Howland. Howland gets about 5 yards, gets blasted.
55 Brooks for East Lincoln. Mentioned the back for Forestview aren't very big, and you know, Brooks for East Lincoln. Not sure, I don't have his measurements down, but he looks to be a pretty good size. Just stayed his ground, put his helmet right to the chest, and straight down.
They show him as 5'10", 200, but he hit a lot harder than 200 on that play. They did gain 4 yards. They're down to the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Again, Wildcat type of thing. Howard takes it. He's the only back in the backfield, and he's met. And another unsportsmanlike penalty. Shropshire gets up and starts celebrating, and the flag comes flying out. Some undisciplined play here by East Lincoln. You make a nice play like that, you drop a guy for 5 yards, and then you celebrate, they're going to get a first down out of it.
Like I say, you know, it's good to be excited, make a great play, but you can't stand over the player and kind of make some gestures and do some things. They're going to throw the flag every time. Great play, great read. Got to stay disciplined.
And he had help. There were 3 or 4 other Mustang defenders closing in as well. Howard was the only one in the backfield. He had nowhere to pitch it, nowhere to throw it to. East Lincoln smelled that one and said, and just came flying in after him. So, after the 15 yards, the penalty will be assessed from the point of the foul, which is the 46-yard line. That should put it at the 39. And now we've got a conference that going over to talk to Coach Lubowitz. I wonder if that's Shropshire's second unsportsmanlike conduct.
Like I say, we mentioned it earlier. We know there's 4 or 5 already, and if the player gets a second one, and see Johnson going off the field.
So they are not marking it off from the spot of the foul. They're marking off from the line of scrimmage. So that puts it down to the 35. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Forestview.
The 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Jaguars.
Another Turner Hauser Insurance from Lincolnton first down by penalty.
That's not the first one by far.
Yeah, if that was on Johnson, I remember he had walked out with his helmet earlier. He probably is second. He might be done for the night.
We'll have to see if he comes back in. Shropshire's still on the field. Howard back to throw. He fires it down the middle. He's got a receiver open. Catch is made. Touchdown. Ty Aldridge caught the East Lincoln defense napping. He was wide open going down the right hash, and he pulls in the 35-yard touchdown pass, and Forestview isn't going away.
Well, I hate to say it again, but there may be some laundry on the field.
Again?
On the far side at about the 35.
Ineligible.
Man.
Yep. So a lineman for Forestview had to be more, 3 yards in high school? You get 3 yards? I think it's 1 in the NFL, but it's 3 in college and high school. So he was more than 3 yards downfield when that was thrown, and that's going to bring a big play back.
Well, I was sort of thinking, we hadn't seen a pass from number 10, Howard, after coming in as the Wildcat sort of quarterback. He definitely pulled up those defensive backs and safeties from East Lincoln, and yeah, Ty Aldridge was wide open.
That was a beautiful throw. Nice tight spiral. Hit him right in stride. You couldn't do it any better. So it'll be interesting to see. They're going to stick with this. Jackson Hill's just hanging out with the coaching staff. He's actually signaling in plays, it looks like. Team player trying to help out. They get the play off just in time. The play clock was down to 0. Howard works his way around the right side, gets down to the 36-yard line, gain of 4.
Yeah, pretty close to the original line of scrimmage. He just took the snap, went off the right side, was able to get the penalty yards back for the most part, yards short of it. But one thing he's quick, he's elusive, tough kid. Get out there and get those extra yards.
He is taking some pretty good shots. East Lincoln's coming up and hitting hard. Probably hoping to see if they can force another fumble like they did earlier. But that was more of a timing issue. But so here we go. Still Howard in playing quarterback. Takes the snap, handoff to Holland. Flag coming in from the umpire behind the play. That usually signifies holding.
Holland, the ball carrier. Penalty flag down on the play.
Well, if it weren't for East Lincoln getting the 80 yards on that touchdown drive, we might have more penalties than offensive yardage. Because it's getting chop block. Okay, it wasn't holding, but usually it's that the umpire calls one of two things from behind the play there.
I'm trying to figure out chop block when it was a run play. Sometimes if there's one offensive lineman engage with a defensive lineman and then another offensive lineman comes in and gets below the waist, then they call that chop block. A lot of times you see that on pass plays.
Well, the high-low, it's a high-low situation.
Exactly.
Once he's already, because they really are trying to protect knees, and that's at all levels. Because you get somebody coming in from the side like that, that's why so many offensive linemen can barely walk in their 50s, especially the ones that get through college and the NFL.
Well, I got 58 Evan Matile in for East Lincoln where Johnson normally lined up, so we'll keep an eye on that.
And this play stopped before it gets going too far.
False start.
Yep. So another 5 yards in penalties. I'm going to need a calculator for all of it this half.
Yeah, I was getting pretty excited that this quarter was moving a little faster, but I guess I spoke too soon. The old announcer's curse slowed down. The last 5 minutes have gone on for about 25 minutes time-wise.
So that pushes them back to their own 45-yard line. So it's going to be second down and a lot.
He's got to get to the 25-yard line.
So 30 yards they need to go for the first down. Snap. Howard keeps it. Spins around in the backfield, and he's snowed under by quite a few players from East Lincoln. Watch the celebrating.
Well, I mentioned that the sub for Johnson that came in, it was Mateel, and so he was there to meet him.
Brought down at the 39-yard line.
Howard for Forestview went left, tried to reverse it around, and Mateel was standing there looking for anything coming back his way, and there was no place for him to go.
So a loss of 6 on that play. 3rd and 36. A punt at this point may not get to the first down marker. Hill's back in the game. He's scrambling, looking downfield, throws into coverage. There's 1 player for Forestview, 3 for East Lincoln. The pass was intended for Tanner Zill, but it's broken up, and it'll be 4th and a mile. So Hill back in the ball game, and that almost seems to say, hey, we're going to throw.
Back to punt for the Jaguars, number 63, Grayson Aycock.
So Aycock will be in to kick. He's got to kick it 46 yards just to reach the first down marker. The 10 where he's standing, and 36 to get to the first down.
I don't know if he's averaging 25 or
well, he had
maybe
13 on the one, so I'm not sure. High snap, not much of a rush. He gets this off a little bit better, and it's fielded at the 35-yard line. Shropshire gets out of bounds, pushed out at the 44. So a return of 9 yards for Shropshire, and East Lincoln will have 1:26 left on the first half, and they do get the ball to start the second half. So if they can get some points here, get the ball and get some more points, they can finally get some breathing room here. As it's still just 20-8, it's a 2-possession game, and it's a short 2-possession game.
Well, they can go back-to-back. Yeah, you mentioned if they get any points here, I believe they get the second half kickoff. So they're going to maybe put a little distance between them and Forestry, depending on what they do with the ball when they here and when they receive it in the second half.
So expect to see some quick hitters. Lawless looking for Beam and others. Looks like Daly's back in the backfield now. Snap to Lawless. He looks to throw, pulls it in, and he's lucky he didn't fumble it as he is sacked back at the 37-yard line. So a loss of 7 on that one.
Ball placed back at the 37-yard line.
So it'll be 2nd and 17,
for the Mustangs.
and the clock is running. 1:02, 1 minute to go. East Lincoln doesn't appear to be any hurry now.
Yeah, Nichols there playing the defensive tackle. Looks like he's the 3 technique, sitting outside the tackle. Got in there and made a great play, great sack.
Handoff to Daly. Daly breaks it to the outside, gets around, gets over the 50-yard line. It's close to the first down, to be a little bit short, and a flag goes up at the end of the play again. So Daly gets across midfield to the 48, and let's see what the penalty is. That's going to be against East Lincoln, and it's going to come back, as we're now down to 34 seconds in the first half. I mean, a lot for each team's coaching staff to talk about here. Big thing, penalties.
And we mentioned it. Usually you see these amount of penalties in the first half, or in the first game rather, but of course a lot of these penalties have been after the whistle, after the play, unsportsmanlike.
So a first half that is creeping up on an hour and a half. Well, the flag was picked up, so he gets to the 48-yard line. I do not understand this officiating crew. Handoff, this time it's Holler. Quick hitter up the middle. He gets across the 40 down to the 36. That'll stop the clock on the Turner Hauser Insurance first down. 22.4.
East Lincoln has 2 timeouts. Wonder if they take one. Oh, the clock's still moving.
Clock's running. They're looking to the sideline. And they do take a timeout. So we'll keep it here. 13.7 to go. And now both teams are out of timeouts. That was the last one. Forestview used all theirs up in the first quarter.
I believe you're right.
So they'll have the ball, 13.7 to go. 1st and 10 on their Forestview 36-yard line after a gain of 12 by Holler on that play.
I'll have to think of probably a quick out here. Like I said, we're out of timeouts. Neither kicker we've seen much out of the kicking game on either side, so I would expect a quick out here, stop the clock, and then maybe one attempt into the end zone to see if they can pad this lead going into the half.
Well, Lawless has the arm to throw that far. We've seen that. Problem is, he's not getting a lot of time right at the moment.
Yeah, Forestry's been sending 55 Comer on blitzes, 52, as we mentioned, that made the sack earlier in this drive. Vaughn has been getting some pressure as well.
So 3 wide receivers to the right, ball near the left hash. Lawless calls the signals, snap. He's looking, they're going to throw long. He's got a receiver wide open. Oh, that's a touchdown. It looks to be Riley Shropshire. There's a blown coverage there because there is the only person closest to him was a photographer on the sideline in the end zone. That was the only person near Shropshire.
Yeah, it looked like the corner for Forestview, number 20, Joshua Howard, thinking he had help from the safety. But again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast that they have pretty much played one center deep. It's tough to get to side, especially if you look off. And he was wide open. The pylon might have been able to make a tackle on that one, or the photographer on it. But
yeah, they were the only ones close. So Shropshire pulls that in. And he is lined up behind center, the swinging gate formation for East Lincoln. They used this on the last one to go for 2. And they throw it to the side to Holler. He's behind the line, tries to burrow his way into the end zone. No signal yet. And they're saying the conversion is no good. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's 26 for East Lincoln, 8 for Forestview. We'll be back with the final 6 seconds after this timeout on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln, in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Save thousands of dollars right now on your next vehicle purchase from Abernathy's Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Right now, all new 2023 Buick Encore GXs are at $2,000 off MSRP. That's right, $2,000 off. Many colors and trims to choose from. But that's not all. All remaining new 2023 Chevy Silverados are $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, check their selection of pre-owned vehicles. Only at Abernathy's Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln. Online at AbernathyChevrolet.com. See their page at LincolnCounty.com.
Howard at the 14-yard line. He was the only one back. Good return, gets out to the 29-yard line. But that's going to be it for the first half. And now it'll be halftime. Our stadium halftime show brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings. We'll be back. We'll be back with some stats, and then we'll take a look at the scores all around the area. We'll be back with this after this timeout on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your Erie insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com. It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup, Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at tyndallford.com. Serving this area since 1974.
Who are you going to call? Bugbusters. Since 1998, Bugbusters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bugbusters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook too. Bugbusters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bugbusters.
Bennett Funeral Services is a proud supporter of Lincoln County Athletics, and they take this time to wish each of you a successful season. Bennett Funeral Services is family owned and operated by Robbie and Rhonda Bennett, and they care about you and your family, featuring traditional funerals and cremation services. And yes, pre-planning transfers are accepted. For more information, call 828-465-2111. Visit the website at BennettFuneralServices.com. In your time of need, call upon Bennett Funeral Service, 7878 NC Highway 16 in Newton and 502 First Avenue South in Conover. They are there for you.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the much-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
Welcome to the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. Well, first of all, we're going to take a look at some of the stats from the first half, and my apologies on these. I'm trying to do these while the referees are picking up flags and marking off stuff late, and then all of a sudden the play's going, and I'm trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, does he get credit for 5 yards, and then they take the penalty, and it gets to that?
And then as soon as you figure out, they pick it up.
Yeah. It's been an interesting first half, a very long first half, and almost an hour and a half to play 24 minutes of football. So let's take a look at the stats. We'll start with the homestanding team from Forestview. Offensively, they've got 86 yards total offense, 70 rushing, 16 passing. Jackson Hill has been the quarterback when they've thrown the ball. Well, there was one pass by Howard. Oh, wait, the penalty wiped it out, so technically he didn't throw a pass. Okay. So we've got Hill 3-4-7 in the first half for 16 yards. So 3 completions for 16 yards. They did have the one really nice long pass from Howard into the end zone that was a touchdown until it was called back for an ineligible receiver downfield. So leading the way is Christian Holland has 7 carries for 29 yards. Howard and Howland.
Double H.
This is driving, and a lot of other letters too. It's driving me crazy. So Howard, here we go. I can't get it right. Howard has come in as a Wildcat-type quarterback, and he's done a good job. 6 carries, 46 yards, including a 47-yarder that set up a touchdown. Or was that the touchdown? I can't remember. There's so many things that were so screwy in this first half. So he's got 6 carries for 46 yards, and the quarterback, Jackson Hill, has 2 carries for -5 as he got sacked one time.
I think it was Hill. They brought in Hill for that 1-yard sort of quarterback sneak for the touchdown after Howard got down.
Set it up. Thank you. You are correct. Okay, so that's, and then for receiving wise, we've got 3 players each with 1 catch. We've got 44 Driston Dunlap with 1 catch for 4 yards. Number 8, Elijah Wilson, 1 catch for 8 yards. And then number 3, Ty Aldridge, 1 catch for 4 yards. Total of 16 yards. So that's it for Forestview. Over for East Lincoln, they've got a little more offense, 108 yards rushing, 90 passing, so just about 200 yards offense. With the 3 short fields they had, actually the 4th one wasn't that long. And then they had the 80-yard drive, and then they had the short field they put in quick before the half. They do have 200 yards offense.
How many unsportsmanlike penalties that kind of helped out some of these drives as well? I mean, obviously they don't factor into rushing or receiving or passing or any of that, but don't even go there as far as the amount of yards
they've got
on the penalties.
They've got 4 unsportsmanlike for 60 yards. So for receiving-wise, Jackson Beam has 3 catches for 30 yards. Riley Shropshire has 2 catches, 1 for 28 yards, 1 for 32 yards. So 2 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown right at the end of the half. Actually, he's had 2 touchdowns. He had, and he almost had a 3rd.
Right, he dropped that at
He just couldn't quite get that catch made. So Shropshire, 3 big plays, 2 that counted, both for touchdowns. Rushing-wise, Chris Daly, 9 carries for 68 yards. Quarterback Lawless, he's been sacked several times, 5 carries for -16. LJ Forney, 1 carry for 11. And then CJ Holler, we think it's CJ, we think it's 32. The dreadlocks are making it difficult to see the numbers. He's got 4 carries for 45 yards, so he might be an early candidate for Subway sub of the game.
And the 2-point conversion.
So Scott's going to take us through some games on the out-of-town scoreboard.
Yeah, the out-of-town scoreboard sponsored by First Federal Savings Bank of Lincolnton, Boulder City, Denver, and West Lincoln. We've got a pretty good matchup here with Burns 13, Crest 14. 2 teams last week that faced these teams going forward. So that should be an interesting matchup going forward as we get going into the night. Shelby up 7-0 on Reynolds. West Lincoln 41, Cherryville 7. Stuart Kramer 14, Chase 16. North Lincoln 14, Lincolnton 0, a little bit of a surprise there. Roberson 21, East Rutherford 6. East Gasson 7 and Corvian 0.
What's a Corvian?
I'm not sure. It sounds like a sweater. I don't know.
I saw the name earlier, and I was going to look it up, and I forgot to, and now that reminds me. Sorry.
Or an old school car, maybe back from maybe your time. I'm not sure, but sorry, I had to get that one in. Kings Mountain 14, Cox Mills 6, Hickory 6, Newton Conover 0, Bunker Hill 14, St. Stephen 0, Bandy's 21, Ford 6, West Henderson 14, Hendersonville 0, Knoxville Catholic 19, Brevard 6, South Caldwell 34, our Central 8, Country Day 13, CS Davidson 7, Lake Norman Charter 14, Winston-Salem Prep 0, and Watauga 28, Avery County 0. And again, that's your First Federal Savings Bank of Lincolnton, Boulder City, Denver, and West Lincoln out-of-town scoreboard.
So that wraps up the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. We'll be back with a second half kickoff after this timeout on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Make This the Summer Event is underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Now get $3,250 total cash on select new 2023 Dodge Durango models. Plus, get $750 bonus cash when financed through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. And make this the summer event. Introducing $500 retail consumer cash on all new 2023 Dodge Hornet models. The Make This the Summer event. Underway now at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1442 East Main Street, Lincoln. Thinking about buying or selling land in western North Carolina? Specializing in hunting land, farmland, and country homes, Whitetail Properties land specialists Chip Camp and Chris Weaver are ready to help. Visit whitetailproperties.com for more information or give Chip a call at 704-473-3833 or Chris at 704-692-6185. Or visit the new office at 4811 Falston Road in Falston. Hunting land, farmland, and country homes is their specialty. Call today.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincolnton, or call 844-848-8676. Also check their website out at unrivaledmetalbuildings.com.
Where you get your tag does make a difference. At the North Carolina DMV Tag Office in Lincoln, they want to make sure your tag purchase experience is a pleasant one. They're located at 2683 East Main Street in Lincoln in the Carolina Shopping Center. It's big and spacious, and they have plenty of attendants to help serve you. They want to get you in and out as fast as possible. The North Carolina DMV Tag Office at 2683 East Main Street in the Carolina Shopping Center, Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too. Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproofing. Just call 704-732-2227 or visit their website at bugbusters.com. Like them on Facebook, too. Bug Busters Pest Control and Home Improvement, 2863 Highway 27 East in Lincoln. Who you going to call? Bug Busters.
Save thousands of dollars right now on your next vehicle purchase from Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC in Lincoln. Right now, all new 2023 Buick Encore GXs are at $2,000 off MSRP. That's right, $2,000 off. Many colors and trims to choose from. But that's not all. All remaining new 2023 Chevy Silverados are $4,000 off MSRP. Plus, check their selection of pre-owned vehicles. Only at Abernathy Chevrolet Buick GMC, 1445 East Main Street in Lincoln. Online at abernathychevrolet.com. See their page at lincolncounty.com.
Warming up, getting ready. Well, there's something you don't see every day. Number 43 for East Lincoln stood at the 40-yard line and worked on kicking it straight towards the sideline.
I guess we know what's coming here after, well, at the end of the score.
Squib or a pooch kick or something, probably.
As we mentioned, neither kicker is really, at least on the kickoffs, not put it too deep. They've been kind of punching it, pooch kicking it somewhere down near the 20, maybe the 15-yard line tops, trying to get some kind of coverage. And it's worked fairly well, at least on the kickoffs. I don't think we've had much after those get up near the 25, maybe tops, maybe the 30 at the most. But
that's about it. So we're about to start the second half. Lincoln County Game of the Week is brought to you by our title sponsor, Bug Busters of Lincolnton. And we thank them for sponsoring high school football here on KTC Broadcasting, lincolncounty.com, and YouTube. If you can look up Lincoln County on YouTube as well and find these broadcasts. We thank you for listening. Again, Dave Potter here with Scott Tudor getting ready for the second half kickoff. East Lincoln will get the ball first, and as we said right before the half, if you can get a touchdown, get the ball and go down and score again, now you're going to be looking at, if they could get another touchdown, you're looking at a 25-point lead. That's more than 3 possessions. And that might finally put this one out of the... So it's been more competitive than the game last year. Oh, wait a minute. I need to get my towel out and start waving. It sounds like a South Carolina game.
Well, you know, when they made that switch from Hill to Howard at quarterback, that's really when Forestview started putting some yards together, putting some drives together. Obviously, that's when they scored their touchdown. We'll wait and see if Forestview continues to do that. I would expect that they do.
Just waiting for the referee to signal. And there it is. Warsinski to kick off, and he kicks it down a pretty good ways. Gets it fielded at the 9-yard line. L.J. Forney has the ball, goes towards the right sideline from the left hash. Hit initially at the 28-yard line, but manages to work his way forward to the 32. It'll be 1st and 10 for East Lincoln there at the 32-yard line.
Tackled by number 24, Buxton, on that kickoff return for Forestview. That's the best kick I think we've seen all night.
Yes, it is. Nice end-over-end kick. Got all the way down to the 9-yard line, so 50 yards on that one. Wonder why he's not kicking extra points and stuff. He is listed as a kicker. But anyway, back on each side of Lawless in the backfield. He hands off, goes around the left side, and is that Holler again? Yeah, I should know that. There's the hair. So that's carry by Holler again.
And another tackle by Comer. A great move at the line of scrimmage to avoid the tackle from the defensive end, number 68 for Forestview. But Comer, who's been all over the field for Forestview, was able to tackle him after that 4-yard gain.
So again, same formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 in the backfield, no tight ends. Lawless, quick pass. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. So after a good initial start, completing 4 of the first 5, he's now misfired on 3 of the last 4, but the one he did connect on was the big touchdown to Shropshire right before halftime. So they have hit the big plays, they just haven't had consistent quick passes that have been completed.
Yeah, 44 for Forestview, got in there pretty quick. Maybe forced that pass from Lawless a little quicker than he intended.
So 3rd and 6, Mustangs. Hand off to Daly. He goes around the right side, breaks the tackle. He's across midfield, finally brought down at the 47. And it'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down as the Mustangs move into Jaguar territory at the 47.
Yeah, Case Phillips, defensive tackle, made the play on that one. You don't see that very often down the field, but great hustle, was able to get him from behind and stopped him from going all the way to the end zone, I think.
18-yard gain by Daly. He has it again around the right side. Just keeps those legs churning forward, and he gets another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. East Lincoln making a statement here. They're just saying, here's the ball. It's going to Daly. Try and stop him.
Straight dive play. That offensive line's getting some push.
Going quick here. Hand off to Daly around the right side. Breaks the tackle, comes back inside, and he'll have another first down. So it's the Chris Daly show at the moment.
I think we got a Forestview player down. I can't see what number. I thought it was maybe number 20 for Forestview. Joshua Howard. I'll have to wait and see when he gets up. Gang tackled there. I mean, he might have landed awkwardly in the pile. Yeah, a little momentum change here from East Lincoln. They're speeding up a little bit, trying to get Forestview. They might have some players going both ways. Again, still humid, even though it's 9 o'clock at night, or is it 9 o'clock in the morning as slow as we're going.
And so they're tending to the injured player on the other side. Doesn't appear to be serious because he's popping back up, and he's kind of running off the field. A little bit of a hitch to giddy up.
Looks like it's number 30, I believe, 50 or 30.
Comes to the sideline, still can't tell. Turn around, son.
Might be 50.
Yeah, it looks like 50. And that'll be
Tyrese Thames.
Yep.
I'm going to say it Thames being, English. That's
yeah, it's
sounds.
It's THAM.
Of course, you were just over there, so
Well, yeah, I spent way too much time in London because I got stuck at the Heathrow 2 different occasions. I love the airlines. Don't get me started. So 1st and 10, another Turner Hauser Insurance first down, 10-yard gain by Daly. And a little quick. I'm surprised they haven't called that earlier because it seems like the receivers for East Lincoln get a pretty good jump, but the snap doesn't seem to come back to Lawless quite as quickly. So that'll be another penalty on East Lincoln.
And Medlin might have put that bug in the side judge's ear there. He's been kind of discussing that with him. I noticed that earlier as well. I thought for sure that the receivers are getting off the ball way too quick.
85 yards of penalties in the first half. That makes 90. Hand off to Daly up the middle. There's an opening before he gets submarined at about the 21-yard line.
That was that little counter play. Got 2 backs next to the quarterback in the shotgun. Fake one way, going to the right, come back left. I believe they scored on that earlier in the first half, or late in the first half. So it's a play obviously that they liked, that they're going back to. That time, Forestview wasn't fooled on it, as 65 again for Forestview. Case Phillips with a little assist from Comer on that one.
But they did gain 7, so it's 2nd and 8. They got the penalty yards back. Quick pass over the middle to Beam. And he makes the catch. He pulls it off the helmet of the defender who had really good coverage. Boy, Lawless fired that one in there. And that's going to be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
That was a heck of a throw. Yeah, it was basically a back shoulder throw. Timing. Took it, like you said, right off the helmet of number 11 for Forestview, Malachi Dye. Great catch down at the 1.
So gain of 20 on that pass. That was a bullet. We noticed in pregame, Lawless and Hunter Bowling both get it out quick. Hand off to Daly, up the middle, touchdown, East Lincoln. Another touchdown for East Lincoln, brought to you by Whitetail Properties of Falston. So now the Mustangs, with 2 quick scores in a row, have broken this one open a little bit. It's currently 32-8, waiting on the James River Equipment of Shelby. Points after touchdown.
Well, this time they bring the gate over the ball.
And now Kendall is out there to kick. Number 46, Braden Kendall, is on to try the extra point. The first one he tried tonight was blocked. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it goes under the crossbar, no good. So with 8:42 to go, it's East Lincoln 32, Forestview 8. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
That might have been good for a soccer.
First Federal Savings. Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from West End Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR on financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com. Serving this area since 1974.
ball is received by, here we go, Holland. Holland and Howard. Flag comes in behind. Holland gets out to the 35-yard line. The referee behind the play throws a flag in from about 30 yards away. That'll probably be holding.
Yeah, Howard's coming up limping.
That's not a good sign for Forestview. He's been their best player offensively tonight.
Looks like he's walking it off.
Well, good thing there. So we'll wait to see what the penalty is, whether the flag gets picked up again or not. Right before the last break, East Lincoln tried the extra point, and they're 0 for 2 for the night, and that was a big strength for them last year. I was pulling up the stuff. Ben Cutter, the linebacker, was their punter, and he could pound it. He would get some high, long kicks off. And then kicking-wise, they had two guys off the soccer team, Chris Milletta and Helmut Rojas, who combined for 59 of 66 point-after-touchdown kicks. And they were 5 for 8 on field goals. And they were both, almost every time they kicked it, it was a touchback. They could both pound it. One was a little bit more accurate than the other, but they both had a big role in the run to the state championship last year with their kicking. And that's something that appears to be taking a bit of a back seat so far this year. It's been a step backwards.
Between that and the penalties tonight, it's really the only two things that are stopping East Lincoln.
They could be in the 50s again without those issues. So 1st and 10, they'll have the ball at the 17. Hill, low snap, can't field it, has to fall on it, and he'll lose 7 yards on that play. And that's been the story of the night for Forestview. Just when Hill is in the ball game, the offense, for whatever reason, the snaps aren't there.
It looks like he's coming out again. Well, he's getting the play this time.
Okay.
Of course, Howard came up limping after returning that kickoff.
That's true, he did.
You wonder if he's still hobbled a little bit. I don't see him on the sideline.
So a loss of 6.
Yeah, it's like Howard's lined up at the slot, far side of the field.
Okay, so he is in the game, but they're not going with that Wildcat-type offense. Blitz, passes deflected at the line of scrimmage. Nice play there. Blitz forced a hurry-up throw. It might have been a quick throw anyway, but it was deflected at the line of scrimmage. 81, it looked like. Caleb Lawford, is that who you had on that one?
Yes, 81. Like you say, we think Johnson for East Lincoln has been given the night off after his second unsportsmanlike, and that's the second player we've seen at that end position.
Now he swaps over to the right side. He swaps with number 23, Xavier Wright, who's made a couple good plays tonight. So Marcel Johnson appears to be out of the game. Forestview just snuck a receiver onto the field on the near side late. Pass thrown over the middle. A little bit high, deflected, falls incomplete. Pass was intended for number 1, Tanner Zill.
Yeah, it was broken up by number 55. Looks like Zill got his hand on it, but 55 came in, knocked it away. And we're back to Forestview and their punt game with 63 Aycock. And they're rushing some guys on the field here late. Both teams are, actually.
Play clock still at 12, so there's time to get him in there. But will they get him lined up correctly? Now 51 comes off the field. Aycock standing in his own end zone. Snap at 3, so he gets it off in time, and a decent kick. Gets out to the, lands at the 35-yard line. Bounces in Forestview's direction.
Just like he touched it at the 41.
And it's touched to the 41. So he gets another 6 yards after the ball hits the turf. Then it hits a Forestview player. So again, East Lincoln with a short field. This is the 4th, maybe 5th time they've started in Forestview territory tonight.
And we mentioned the big plays, but yeah, the yards are just not there just because of these short field. It made a lot of big plays, a couple on 4th down, a couple big runs. But you think the game would be much closer if you looked at the stats just because of the yardage, but short fields will take care of that quickly.
and they only used 1:20 of game time. So that's playing into East Lincoln's hand. Now here's the clock down to 3, 2. They're going to have to call a timeout. Nope. They take the penalty, delay a game.
Well, they'll still be in Forestview's territory even with the penalty, so no sense in wasting the timeout.
True. That's true. And they haven't had any problem moving the ball for the most part, if there aren't penalties.
I wonder if they go, continue with sort of the hurry up here in the second half, which they came out with the score in their first possession.
Quick throw by Glasswell. He gets it out in space. Catch is made. Trying to see a number here. It's clear on the far sideline. That's Jackson Beam. He takes it and gets down to the 20-yard line. So East Lincoln quickly into the red zone. Gain of 26 on that play.
Another Turner Hauser Insurance of Lincolnton first down. Yeah, another quick pass. Eludes the first tackle.
And now a flag goes down yet again.
I wonder if there's springs in these officials' flags, the way they're popping out.
Spring-loaded flags. Substitution infraction, it looks like, on Forestview. And they have had some problems getting the right people on the field here the last few plays.
Well, we see a few guys on the bench over here. Like we mentioned, there may be a few guys going both ways. That may be the issue with the substitution. I see 65, who's done a great job defensively. And Howard, who seems to be on the field no matter what they're doing for Forestview, he's on the bench as well, getting some air.
So they mark off 5 yards, but then the referee waves it like they're taking penalty away. Do you? This is amazing.
And again, here we go over talking to the coach.
Correction, ladies and gentlemen, there is no penalty on the previous play. It'll be 1st and 10, East Lincoln.
So they take the penalty back?
Yes.
What? Okay. All right, hand off to Daly. He's working in close quarters, and he's going to lose a little bit of yardage there. Well, they're being generous. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
That counter will play again. 2 halfbacks next to the quarterback. You wonder if the officials kind of delayed that one with their picking up the flag again.
So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Running back on either side, the back of the quarterback. He looks, throws, hits. He is blasted as he lets that one go.
55 Comer again with a hurry up there from Forestview.
Lawless takes a beating on that particular throw. As you said, Comer came in, got him right in the ribs as he threw it. He still managed to throw it out the back of the end zone. He got plenty on that. So the kid transfer from Miami, Oklahoma, has a good arm on him. If you're wondering where that is, it is in the northeastern corner of Oklahoma. About 10 miles north of there is Commerce, Oklahoma, the home of Mickey Mantle. So Lawless hands off. It's Howler going around the left side. He's got blocking out in front of him. He works his way down inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
Brought down to the 4-yard line.
27 for Forestview, Jamarius Durham, and 21 Love on the tackle.
But a gain of 16 for Holler on the play. And East Lincoln looking to put their 3rd straight touchdown on the board here in very little time. Same formation, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Handoff is to Daly. He tries to work his way around the right side. You got a flag coming in from the referee. Daly's into the end zone, but we need to wait and see what the call is.
Or if there's a call.
Well, he moved the flag forward, so yes, there's holding on this particular one. So that touchdown will not count yet. One thing we've seen tonight is the penalties haven't seemed to stop East Lincoln from scoring.
Yeah, just more of a delay than anything.
Delay of the inevitable. So the penalty was assessed at the 7-yard line. I'm sorry, 4-yard line, so they'll move it back 10, and that makes it 2nd and goal from the 14. This time, 2 wide receivers to the left. Lawless looks, scrambles, throws while he's in the grasp, and another flag down in the backfield. Lawless got it away, saved the sack yardage.
Yeah, it shouldn't be grounding if you got the ball right back over the line of scrimmage. He broke the tackle box. But they're calling a false start, so you wonder why the play didn't be blown dead if it was a false start. More of a procedure type of penalty.
Right.
That'd be a hydration timeout.
Looks that way. So a hydration timeout on the field. We'll be back after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from West End Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. Like them on Facebook too. No matter your lifestyle, Tyndall Ford in Gastonia has a car and a program just for you. Try Tyndall, trust Tyndall, and you'll love Tyndall Ford, who also happens to be the premier Roush dealer in the world. Check out the Discover Summer Sales event underway now. Ask about special financing plus cash back. And check out the selection of pre-owned vehicles. You're invited to become one of the Tyndall Ford family members today. Tyndall Ford, 1901 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at TyndallFord.com, serving this area since 1974.
It's not something you normally hear. Handoff is to
Roseboro?
Jalen Roseboro, and he shows off that track speed, goes around the right side, into the end zone for a touchdown. Jalen Roseboro, one of the best 100, 200-meter runners in the conference, and went to states last year in it. So he's very fast, and he just races around the right side for a 19-yard touchdown. Another Whitetail Properties touchdown for the Mustangs.
Number 20 for Forestview kind of got caught with a crack block. He was trying to defend, stayed in his position on the outside, but as you mentioned, Roseboro just way too fast. Went right around after that crack block. 19-yard run.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why your skilled players need to be on the track in the spring, working on their speed. That wasn't even close. So now they're going for they're going to try the extra point again. Kendall's putting the tee down at the 10. 5:07 to go in the third quarter. It's currently 38-8. Snap, hold, kick is up. And this one is blasted through. There we go. So the James River Equipment extra point is good by Braden Kendall. And with 5:07 to go, it's East Lincoln 39, Forestview 8. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Thinking about buying or selling land in Western North Carolina? Specializing in hunting land, farmland, and country homes, Whitetail Properties land specialists Chip Camp and Chris Weaver are ready to help. Visit whitetailproperties.com for more information or give Chip a call at 704-473-3833 or Chris at 704-692-6185. Or visit the new office at 4811 Falston Road in Falston. Hunting land, farmland, and country homes is their specialty. Call today. Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control.
Kendall, after the successful extra point, Pooch kicks it down to the 21-yard line. Receiver there.
I think that's our Holland, one of our H's.
It's one of our H's. Yeah, that's number 9. Howland. He runs east and west and loses a yard on the return, much to the chagrin of the press box occupants on the other side of the wall from us. They were yelling quite loudly, "Don't run east and west." So 1st and 10 at the 20. Hill takes the snap, hands off, and Xavier Wright is there to welcome the ball carrier.
I think we mentioned earlier, it looked like he almost received the handoff before Holland did.
Loss of 3 on that carry. And East Lincoln starting to assert themselves on both sides of the ball, especially with the lines.
Well, I think they're a little bit well rested after their offense stayed on the field for a good 3 minutes.
Actually, only 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. Jackson Hill back to pass, throws it deep. He's looking for a receiver, Ty Aldridge.
I think he came down with it.
Flag is thrown.
Good concentration there by number 3 for Forestview, Vay Aldridge. He may have stepped out of bounds, hence the incomplete pass. We'll have to wait and see.
And the flag goes back in the pocket. There was a flag down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah,
Right
normally if the receiver steps out of bounds, they throw the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, but there is a penalty. They're calling defensive interference.
Okay, so that'll be marked from the line of scrimmage. Well, the ball was on the 20-yard line, and they've moved it to the 32. So that is a 12-yard penalty on the Mustangs. And it's a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Jaguars on the 12-yard penalty. Just going to let that one hang out there for a second. Snap to Hill, handoff in the backfield. You would think I'd get this straight by the end of the game. 9 is Howland, not Howard. So he gets a good carry around the left side.
Yeah, just a straight off tackle that he bounced outside. Good speed.
And we got a player down for East Lincoln on the far side.
And again, gang tackle might have caused this injury. If it is an injury, not a cramp.
So a gain of 9 on the play. Not quite a first down, but close. And he pops right back up. It looks to be number 9, Brody Hager. So it won't be a long stoppage there. He's up and off on the sidelines. Hager came in and did some good duty for the Mustangs last year defensively.
Yeah, I believe last week he ended up with 6 or 7 tackles as well as one of the returning East Lincoln defenders.
A lot of wholesale changes for the Mustangs this year, but for the most part, they are clicking. Penalties have held them back tonight, but they're still up 31 points. Hill, quick pass out. He's got it to Howard. Howard makes the catch and is hit almost immediately. And
Shropshire was coming up quickly. It was a good thing that we sort of bobbled. He stepped to the side, or that might have been a pretty big collision. And finally, we see a little bit of restraint, teams pulling each other out of the pile. We don't need any more unsportsmanlike.
No. So, gain of 2, short play, but enough for Turner Hauser Insurance first down for Forestview out to their own 43-yard line now. Yeah, it was good to see some restraint. Hill again, low snap, trouble corralling it, has to fall on the ball back at the 35-yard line, loss of 8. And that's a familiar refrain for Forestview tonight.
Yeah, as soon as they get some kind of momentum, a negative play comes into play, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a drop, fumble, in this case, another bad snap. It'd be the easiest sack for number 81 Loffer for East Lincoln. He might get all year.
2:48 to go in a very slow-moving ball game. Third quarter only. Pitch out, corralled nicely by Holland. It was behind him. He stuck a hand back, caught it, and works his way all the way out to the 48-yard line. So gain of 13, and it easily could have been a fumble behind him. He reached back and made a great play.
Yeah, good concentration on that one from Holland. Was able to corral that ball, get up the sideline. Good burst of speed there. I don't think there was contact until about 3 or 4 yards down the field, and he was able to elude the tackle and get another 4 or 5 yards. Manageable third down here.
Yeah, 3rd and 5. Not some of the ridiculous numbers they've had before. Hill takes a snap and takes a knee. What was that?
Not sure.
I don't understand that at all.
I don't know if the center just snapped it. Nobody was ready, and so trying to figure out why he took the knee.
Loss of 5, so it's going to make it 4th and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
On the punt for the Jaguars.
So now they have to punt.
Back deep to receive for the Mustangs.
Okay, I am stumped.
And the only thing I could think of is obviously the center just snapped it and nobody moved.
Okay, so 4th and 10. Adcock in to kick. Decent kick. Gets some height on it. Lands at about the 30. Picked up on the bounce by Shropshire. He tries to get away. The first defender is able to bring him down. That is...
It's like Howard
making the play defensively.
That's where East Lincoln will have it 1st and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Still got 57 seconds left. And that, as we have seen, that is enough time for East Lincoln to score.
We might need to call Uber Eats for some scrambled eggs and bacon for breakfast here, the way this game is going.
So East Lincoln will take over their own 30-yard line. Come on, don't do that. I'm getting hungry now.
I was waiting for the rim shot, and I got nothing out of it. So, you know, hopefully the
trying
fans
that.
at home maybe got a kick out of it.
Okay.
Who knows? Whatever.
I don't have the rim shot machine here. Handoff in the backfield. Hunter Bowling now in the game at quarterback for East Lincoln. He hands off to Daly. That goes nowhere.
Wrapped up in the backfield. And on the stop for the Jaguars, number 44, Tristan Dunlap, and number 52.
So a loss of 2 on the play.
2nd down and 12 for the Mustangs.
Again, Hunter Bowling replaces Lawless as quarterback. 31-point lead. And as we heard in the pregame, Coach Lubowitz say it was a very spirited competition between the two. And he throws a quick out, makes the completion over on the sideline. It'll be a 1st down. Trying to see who the receiver is.
That Roseboro number 5?
5 is Shropshire.
Shropshire.
So passer there is number 3, Bowling. He's complete to Shropshire. And they get out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 20 on that. And what was basically just a quick pass over the sideline. It's almost a long handoff.
Right, yeah,
The way they do it.
just a quick out. Shropshire was able to get that ball off the field, get a block from a couple of his teammates, and another Turner Hauser Insurance first down as the third quarter finally comes to an end.
So after 3 periods of play, it's 39 for East Lincoln, 8 for Forestview. We'll be back with a fourth quarter. After this, you're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
It's the all-new Nissan of Shelby, where they do the right thing. First time, every time. Nissan of Shelby now has new management, plus a big new inventory with new prices, giving you a whole new customer experience. Check their amazing lineup. Nissan Rogues and Muranos, and trucks like the Nissan Frontier and Titan, plus a wide range of pre-owned vehicles with special rates and pricing. Come to the all-new Nissan of Shelby, 631 South Post Road, right off Highway 74 East in Shelby. Online at nissanofshelby.com.
Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincolnton. With over 20 years experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincolnton, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivaledmetalbuildings.com.
Forestview, start of the fourth quarter. Lincoln County football brought to you by Bug Busters of Lincolnton, our title sponsor. And on the first play, Hunter Bowling on the quarterback draw takes a step back, runs forward, goes up the middle, breaks it towards the left sideline. And a big gain on the play for Bowling, gets it down to the 19. And it's 1st and 10 East Lincoln in the red zone. And they were on 48-yard line.
That's right. So
2 and 31, 33-yard run for Hunter Bowling. A nice play there.
Well, obviously he just came in here towards the end of the third quarter. He's got fresh legs. Probably he's been sitting there ready to get his chance. Wants to show the East Lincoln coaches that he's more than capable of backing up Lawless, sorry. But great run, fresh legs.
First down, East Lincoln in the red zone at the 19. Quick pass to L.J. Forney, the intended receiver. Looks like it hit the ground. A little bit low there. Just a quick in pattern there.
Yeah, quick
There's
little
good coverage.
3 and stop. Yeah, 21 for Forestview Love. He's been all over the field when Comer hasn't been there. Love's been there to sort of finish up or make a play from the secondary. Good pass break up there.
Second down, handoff to Daly. And he's corralled in the backfield, but then manages to work his way forward. Turns it into a short gain. Maybe about 2 on the play.
Again, 55 Comer shooting the gap, trying to get in the backfield, disrupted it. But Daly was able to elude that tackle and at least get 2 yards on the play.
So 3rd and 8, 3 wide receivers to the right. Bowling in the backfield with Daly. Bowling back to pass. Looks, now he's scrambling to his right, looks downfield. He's trying to get Holler to go downfield. He throws the ball. Was he out of bounds when he threw it?
Yeah, it looks like the official side judge here coming over, marking him out at the 25.
It did look like it. So he's out at the 25. So a loss of 8, and that'll bring up 4th and 16. And that will count as a sack, even though he ran himself out of bounds. He was looking to throw.
Too far for a field goal attempt. We've seen big plays on 4th down from East Lincoln earlier.
Yes, we have. Stacked receivers to the right. Daly takes it They're just going to run the ball trying to keep the clock moving, although on the change of possession, it won't keep moving. So Daly carries the ball, gets down to the 23-yard line, so he gains 2 on the play, and they'll turn it over on downs. Forestview takes the ball over. We still have 10:35 to go in the game.
68 Lee White for Forestview in the game. Made the tackle on that play. Straight draw, just keep the clock, try to get the clock moving.
Well, the change of possession, though, it stops until
Right.
they snap the ball. The only clock moving at the moment is the play clock. And here we go with the rotating people trying to get the right. Doesn't appear to be any hurry here for Forestview, and the play clock's at 5. And they have to burn a timeout. So we'll be back after this. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha Wave Runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market, with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2021 VX Series with audio packages, the most-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
Holland is the ball carrier coming out of the timeout. Play up the middle. Gets out to the 26-yard line, so a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Fake to Holland. Roll out. Throws made. Complete. Caught by number 44.
Wow,
Drisden Dunlap, and he keeps squirming, moving, keeping the legs going, and he gets all the way out to the 41-yard line, so good 2nd and 3rd effort on that play.
Yeah, great little roll out there, pass play from Forestview. I think we have a few subs in for East Lincoln with the score being the way it is, but he was able to just bowl over a few of those East Lincoln defenders and pick up another
15
Turner
yards.
Hauser, yeah, insurance first down of Lincolnton.
Yep. So 1st and 10 at the 41. Mercifully, the clock is running. Hill takes the snap, manages to get the handoff to Holland, which was pretty amazing, because there's a bit of a bobble there, but he did get it to Holland. Holland carries it, gets out to the 47-yard line, gain of 6.
Second straight tackle for East Lincoln from number 28, Jack Campbell. Yeah, great job not to lose possession of the ball in that exchange.
One back in the backfield. Low snap, pitch, goes to Holland. He's racing around left side, breaks a tackle. He'll have a first down. He's across midfield, across the 45, down to the 44.
Another Turner Hauser Insurance of Lincolnton first down, 81. We mentioned earlier, subbed in for Johnson from the left defensive end position. Was able to hustle down the field and make the tackle on that play for the Mustangs.
He's listed at 6'2", Caleb Lawfer. He looks taller than that. Again, maybe the other linemen are shorter, but when he's standing out there, he looks taller than 6'2". Hand off to Holland. He's got a big hole over the left side. Gets across the 30-yard line to the 29 before he's finally brought down. So again, as you mentioned, substitutes in for East Lincoln. We're starting to see maybe a few holes being opened up that we didn't see before.
Yeah, Loeffler that time got up the field, and Holland was able just to take that spot from the defensive end position and get a big gain there for another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Gain of 14. Ball's now on the 30-yard line. Different back in the backfield now. Whoa, that didn't work well. He looked to the left. The running back went to the right. The running back was Tristan Holt. Some miscommunication, and now we've got another flag behind the play. A secondary and a receiver. Secondary player for the Mustangs, receiver, were locked up, wrestling again in the secondary.
Well, we've gone almost a whole half without a unsportsmanlike penalty. We got to get one here in the second half before the game runs out.
The Mustang player was celebrating like it was going to be on Forestview, but well, that remains to be seen.
You think at this point of the game they would just call it on both.
And now another committee meeting at the 34-yard line.
Well, let's hope we don't lose another player. It looks like with all the subs in, at least for East Lincoln.
Some scores coming in on the out-of-town scoreboard while the committee meeting is going on. Great game. I don't know if this is in Shelby or if it's up in Asheville, but Shelby and AC Reynolds are tied up at 21 apiece.
And they called offsetting penalties.
That's just a way of jacking up the number of unsportsmanlikes, and if we get another one on any of these players, then they're gone. I mean, it's just looking down through. Kings Mountain leads Cox Mills 27-13. Watauga up big over Avery County. Alexander Central and Wilkes Central 7-7. Ashe County easily over North Wilkes 48-0.
A replay of that first down after the offsetting penalties.
Bunker Hill leads St. Stephen's 21-0. Handoff to Holt. He goes around the left side. He gets down to 26-yard line. Gain of 4. And I hear a bunch of whistles. Please tell me it's not another penalty.
Well, at least that way, on that play, the quarterback and the running back were on the same page. Ran the ball to the left.
Checking some more scores. Let's see here. North Lincoln 21-0 over Lincolnton. There's a bit of a surprise. West Lincoln 47-7 over Cherryville. We'll have West Lincoln next week. It'll be Fred T. Ford going down to West Lincoln.
Another unsportsmanlike against Forestview.
And we just got an update from one of the East Lincoln coaches. Lincolnton coming back 21-19. 9 minutes to go in the game. So like last week, Lincolnton taking a little time to get going, but once they get going the second half, it's turned out to be pretty competitive.
I thought our game was going long. If they've got 9 minutes left, we've got 7.
I believe that started at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
That was one of the ones that got pushed back. So they at least have a reason to be taking this long. This game, so after the penalty, the ball's back at the 41-yard line. High snap, handled, handoff to Holt. Holt trips his way forward, works his way out of a couple tackles, gets down to the 39-yard line. So a lot of running for a gain of 2. Clock rolling, 6.5 to go. Fourth quarter, East Lincoln ahead 39-8.
I've been impressed with Loeffler. I mean, he didn't make the tackle on that particular play, but again, had him in the backfield. He was able to break free, but he's done a pretty good job subbing in there for Johnson for East Lincoln.
Fumble, picked up. Ball bouncing around in the backfield. It's scooped up by Drisden Dunlap.
That was just a snap that basically just rolled. Didn't get anywhere near the quarterback.
So that's how it got over there. I wasn't sure. It's like, how did that get all the way over where the running back's picking it up over near where the tight end might normally line up?
It was almost like a squib snap, the way that the center got that one back. I mean, we've seen some high and low snaps, but you can't get much lower when it rolls along the ground.
So Dunlap picks it up, and there's no gain on the play, and that'll make it 4th and 19. Forestview at the Mustang 40-yard line. With the play clock down to 2, Forestview is going to take a timeout. We'll be back after this on the Lincoln County Game of the Week.
Drivers, start your engines!
Start your engine of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain. Race on in now during the Campers Inn 500. Over 500 units have been discounted for year-end savings. It's the best time of the year to buy. Don't make a pit stop elsewhere. Head to the finish line of savings at Campers Inn in Kings Mountain during the Campers Inn 500. Campers Inn, 615 South Broadway off Highway 161 South at I-85 in Kings Mountain. Online at campersinn.kingsmountain.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Say goodbye to those hot, sticky days in the scorching sun. James River delivers the Back to Cool special on select John Deere cab tractors. Experience ultimate comfort in a roomy, air-conditioned 3R, 4R, or 5E 3-cylinder series cab tractor. Plus, save a cool $5,000 off MSRP on top of 0% for 60-month financing. Comfort has never been so affordable. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/cool for more. Ends 8/31/23 with approved credit from John Deere Financial. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Number 8.
So back here at Forestview, it was 4th and 19. Grayson Acock comes in to punt yet again. Gets a good punt off this time. Fielded by number 8, King Watkins. There's a good name.
I like that name.
That is a good one. He picks it up at about the 10-yard line, returns it out to the 16. So a return of 6. It'll be first down for East Lincoln. 5:15 to go. And Bowling continues to be in at quarterback. Now we've got Daly out of the game, trying to see who the running back is. So some liberal substitutions going on for East Lincoln. Bowling takes a snap, keeps it himself, runs over the left side's got an opening, gets over to the sideline. Goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Forward up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I would expect a heavy dose of run plays here from East Lincoln to get the clock moving.
So gain of 9 for Bowling on that play. That's what you like to see. Just get some yardage, get out, although don't get out of bounds. Handoff up the middle. Now, that looks like 32.
C.J. Holler?
That's who we've been. That's who we thought was C.J. But there's no dreadlocks. I can actually see the 32 now.
We'll have to figure out who.
Yeah, who was doing all those carries earlier?
First and 10, East Lincoln.
Okay. So a good gain there. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs out to the 35-yard line. Bowling keeps it, gets brought down in the backfield for a loss. And he takes out one of his own players in the process when he's being whipped around. Number 54, Christian Garcia, getting up a little slowly. and also a player for Forestview down on the field.
And it gets dual 54. I think it's Robert Fuller for Forestview.
So another stoppage here. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back on the Lincoln County Game of the Week after this message.
Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com. You can book your tee times online at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden. Just go online at glenoaksgolf.com. Pick out your tee time and book it. Check out their pro shop, snack bar, driving range, and banquet hall. And memberships are available. For more information, call 828-428-2451. Or again, go online at glenoaksgolf.com and like them on Facebook too.
So we got some clarification. All game long, we've seen a 92 carrying the ball sometimes for East Lincoln, and there was no 92 on the roster, but he left his jersey at school. It is Nate Stevens, number 11. He is wearing 92 tonight. This is C.J. Holler, and C.J. goes up the middle and gets across the 45-yard line to the 47, 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs for the actual C.J. Holler.
Another Turner Hauser Insurance of Lincoln first down. Came straight up the gut. Good, powerful run there by C.J. Holler. Just bowled his way up there for another first down.
So Nate Stevens was the one in the first half that ran for 40-some yards. Sorry, we did not have it on the roster. Pass out to L.J. Forney, steps around a defender, works his way down the left sideline, out of bounds at the 40 of the Jaguars. Another first down for the Mustangs, and another player down for Forestview. At this point, I think both teams just want the game to end, but they've got to wait for the clock to do it.
A couple of guys up here in the booth want the game to move a little quicker as well.
Yeah, because the post-game show only goes to 11:45. We might run out of time. The one that Kevin will be hosting after the game. The Red Zone radio show is currently on, live scoring highlights. And then tonight, it'll be the NC Prep football post-game show. That goes to about 11:45 or midnight. Wrap up from all the games in the area, call-ins from some of the players and coaches, and oh, you get some interesting fans that call into the show. So that's coming up after this wraps up. 3:26 yet, still to go.
Yeah, those 8 o'clock games might be over before we are.
The Lincolnton North Lincoln game was cruising along quicker than we were. So 1st and 10 Mustangs at the 40-yard line. 3.5 left in the game. C.J. Holler in at running back. Bowling, hands off to him up the middle again. This time no opening and no yards. Very generously given him getting back to the line of scrimmage because it sure didn't look like he got that far.
Yeah, 63 for Forestview came shooting through there. Grayson Acock, the punter. As we mentioned, big kid, but 65's been all over the field. Case Phillips for Forestview was able to finish off. C.J. Holler, number 32.
4 wide receivers for East Lincoln. Snap back to Bowling. No, gets away from him. Bad snap, and it was dribbling off towards the right sideline. It's recovered by number 51, Cooper Harpster.
I'm not sure it even got anywhere near the quarterback bowling. It looked like it sort of went off the snapper's own leg. It looks like there's a, obviously with all the substitutions, new snapper in there, number 52 for East Lincoln.
So
Aravon.
Alert play by Harpster because he's another lineman, and he came down the line and it fell on the ball. So good alert play by him. He's not one of these skill players. He's a lineman. Bowling takes this one, goes over the right side, runs into his own man, and then loses the football. He had gotten to the 35-yard line or so. Runs into his own man and loses the football. Mustangs recover it. Looked like Michael Thomas, number 77, on the recovery, but it's going to be 4th down at the 35-yard line of the Jaguars. 1:20 to go, clock running. East Lincoln will be content to kick this one away. And into punt, one of the other stars returning from that defense last year, Hampton Good. Hampton made some big plays in some of the state playoff games, including a couple interceptions, if I remember correctly. So Hampton Good continuing to be one of the punters for East Lincoln, who's also a defender. Nice little pooch kick down the sideline. Low running kick, and it's down at the 5-yard line, so good play there. 45 seconds to go. Forestview is going to be pinned in their own end.
Yeah, he snapped the ball back, and he just kind of let the clock run a little bit. Nobody was really rushing, so he took his time.
Smart move.
Was able to kick it, yeah, and just perfect kick, went down. It just died right there at the 5.
If we could only get wedges to stop that quickly. Sometimes they bounce much more than we would like.
Well, green's a little firm when you don't have had much rain around here.
All right, so 45 seconds. Forestview on their own 5-yard line. I wasn't sure if they were going to come out in the defeat formation. There's the victory formation. Well, they just hand off up the middle, nothing much there. And actually worked forward a little bit, gain of 4. And that should be the last play of the game. There's 32 seconds on the play clock, only 25 on the game clock. So, and team players are starting to shake hands on either side, and that will be the final score. So that's it from Forestview. The final score will be East Lincoln 39, Forestview 8. You're listening to the Lincoln County Game of the Week. We'll be back with a stadium postgame show after this timeout.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Attention home buyers. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control before purchasing your new home to avoid getting stuck with extensive damage, typically not covered by homeowners insurance. Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control will inspect your home for prior or present wood-destroying insects and moisture. Call Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control today to schedule your free estimate at 1-800-7-THE-WEB and receive $25 off any new service from Neeline Cole Termite and Pest Control. Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com and like them on Facebook too. Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln. Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Take your pick on a brand new Bobcat mower from Weston Sales in Vail. Pick 0% APR financing for 60 months or get an $800 instant rebate. You just take your pick and pick out your new Bobcat mower. Take a look at a Bobcat ZT2000, $500 instant cash rebate. A Bobcat ZT3000, $700 instant cash rebate. Or the Bobcat ZT3500 with an $800 instant rebate. See them today at Weston Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail. Online at westonsales.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Who are you going to call? Bug Busters. Since 1998, Bug Busters has been serving North and South Carolina with the very best in professional pest control. Family and veteran owned, Bug Busters is there for your pest control, crawl space, encapsulation, termites, wildlife, structural repair, and waterproof.
Final score, East Lincoln 39, Forestview 8. And it's time for the Stadium Postgame Show brought to you by Campers Inn of Kings Mountain. So, taking a quick recap of the game, East Lincoln scored first on a touchdown pass to Shropshire, missed the extra point and made it 6-0. Then they scored again another touchdown to make it 12-0. But then Forestview with a bit of a change of pace there. They went to the Wildcat, Howard, and I cannot get that straight. I am just great with names. It was Howard taking the snaps, and he did a great job. Moved them down the field, got their only touchdown. They went in for the 2-point conversion, and at that point it was 12-8. It was a decent ball game, but after that it was all East Lincoln. They just moved the ball at will when they wanted to, and then killed the clock when they wanted to. So they got another touchdown pass right before halftime to Riley Shropshire. He was wide open on that play. And then another touchdown was set up later on a bullet by Lawless to Matt Beam that he plucked off the helmet of the defender, got down to the 1-yard line. And at that point, this game was pretty much over. They had gotten up to 39-8 at that point, and that turned out to be the final score. So now it's time for some game awards here for some of the players. First up is going to be the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway the recap of the game, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that, was brought to by Parker Farm Service of Kings Mountain. So next is the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Yeah, once we got the number corrected, it was actually, number 2, we thought Nate Stevens came in and did a great job. Ended up with 6 carries for 65 yards and a touchdown, and also ran in a 2-point conversion. So once we figured out and got the number correct, Nate Stevens did a great job coming in and getting a little change of pace.
Yeah, normally he wears number 11. We found out he had to go to 92 tonight because of some issue with his uniform. So that's what was throwing us off, and he's got a serious set of dreads there. We couldn't see the number even on the back, the big number on the back. We thought it was 92. It turns out we were right, so our vision wasn't totally off. So our Subway sub of the game is Nate Stevens. Okay, next up is the offensive player of the game, brought to you by Roden Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton. And that's going to be?
Yeah, we thought, David Howard came in, gave a little change of pace, as you mentioned, for Forestview, coming in for Jackson Hill, and really ran the offense quite well. Was able to get some yards, got them down inside the red zone for their lone touchdown. Of course, also had a great pass that he threw that got called back on a ineligible man downfield. But David Howard did a great job coming in offensive player of the game.
Yeah, he had that big 47-yard run that set up the touchdown, and the pass was probably a good 40, 45 yards as well, and it was a beautiful pass. Nice spiral, hit the guy right in the numbers. Unfortunately, a lineman more than 3 yards downfield. So, David Howard is the Rhodes and Beal offensive player of the game. Next up is the defensive player of the game, brought to you by Triad Corrugated Metals of Lincolnton. And that was also a Forestview player who was all over the field the whole evening.
Yeah, we thought, he was one of our key players for Forestview. He switched his number last week. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but number 55, Noah Comer, was just all over the field. I hit him with 7 solo tackles, including a sack, along with 4 assisted tackles. But he was obviously in the backfield a lot, disrupted a lot of plays, forced Lawless maybe to make a couple of throws early. Just was all over the field defensively for Forestview. So fantastic game from Noah Comer there.
And finally, that brings us to the overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet of Lincolnton.
Well, we didn't think the stats were, really eye-catching, but again, that was more from the short field than it was from anything. But, to see Lawless there, just do a fantastic job. Grant Lawless just running the offense, making great plays, obviously with his arm. We mentioned, the catch, on the helmet there to set up the touchdown for Nate Stevens. But there was a few times as well that he pulled the ball down, got some positive yards with his feet. But again, was able to manage the offense when penalties weren't occurring, and did a fantastic job for East Lincoln. Look forward to seeing him down the road.
I've got him as 6 for 11, as best as I can tell, for about 110 yards. But again, with the short fields, you weren't going to get a lot of yardage. But he had the great throw to Beam. He had he laid that pass out there to Shropshire. Yeah, he was wide open, but he hit him right in stride. He almost hit him in stride on another one down here that was just out of the back of the end zone. So some really great throws from the transfer student, who's now played 2 games for the Mustangs. They're 2-0, 18 straight victories. So Grant Lawless is our overall player of the game, brought to you by Abernathy Chevrolet. So time to wrap up the stadium post-game show. It's brought to you by Campers Inn of Kings Mountain. The final score in the game was East Lincoln 39, Forestview 8. Tonight's game was brought to you by Bug Busters of Lincolnton. Thank you for joining us on KTC Broadcasting and LincolnCounty.com. Thanks to JP in the studio for running the commercials and keeping everything going. I'm Dave Potter. He's Scott Tudor. Thank you for joining us. Next week we'll be at West Lincoln as Fred T. Ford will visit Vale to take on the Rebels. Again, 39-8, East Lincoln a winner. We thank you for joining us, and good night.
First Federal Savings Bank. They've been serving Lincoln County and the surrounding counties since 1940. If you're looking to build your dream home, purchase a new home, or buy land, they have the products and services for you. At First Federal Savings Bank, they want to get to know you by name and build a relationship for generations to come. Give them a call at 704-735-0416 or visit the website at ffsb-nc.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. there's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.